yeye say ya sabe ko ya no a ayagalamse say ya babako school a ayagalamse from Ansuan Mutu aya kwanta abaye dwuma bia ne anuma yeye efri babam na galamse ne ya nananuma ya no mkom krachi na abeso ya so sa mutu say aso a ya na ya to aba no ya pasa galamse dwuma kosuntina ya to aba no enti sa aban wotu unkofo ogum sa amamra no mama be stop galamse amamu ba sika eno amu ba je amu wia amasanso adwuma ba na wa maso a adwuma bia ne a ya ne abiriye ene akasa esasa police ni ba eba ba ya sapa no akwa na ya ne adakom akwa busumi mienu nie hwa ebi ma nko school ebi ma enko school ya tete anu musema obi afri Accra Kasua assistant police case de aba ebi sisa asomade wo ba na so machine wantimi antu a watutu nyama no de kwa wasisa watiti lobed e de aba sa abai e na asomo na wachake machine ono ade ni po wo kwada kobusa na so a oso betu tuo
national security near police for bi omo ba ya omo se afidie a esisi kromi ana omo befa ene eso o befa sesei aban na blagala se obi anfa ne no mama fie be 3 weeks ni edi video be sisi fie edi se wo so wo befa pa de video no fie de e ma mo kwan edi e bobo obelia se video de ye ma omo mfa ba akokra anko edi e nyina ye pinche sa ana ye de video no e amo mfa anko edi e wa na ya police for no e sa o machi a o de ko ye se ne sa bre eni e won shoot de e kokọ so ne se de sifie kwa de eni baba akuply na se ye de ko hospital nti oni asisi a enyina anti ya hwe ade anti se video ni de ye no kro mpa ye si e bro 3 weeks wo de ma mo hwe hu na ehun kro wo enye ne ena ye adwuma aban ni de tie nipa ye hwe de ono a de ba koduro de obaka koduro no ana ye nyina ye be hu se ye be ya adwuma o ye nya adwuma o ye ni problem de se sifie de ye sifie de efie de enya de ba mo befa enti ye so ya no asem no
ye me ka tro mo ampanyin na ne se esre no ewura dwoma ama onfa na ni nto fom ye hu se sa de ni nyina na kotia na kufu ado e ma na ban no sa bre woni su biem enti ye besre dwoma ama se onfa na ni nto fom na sa bre no nwibua bi wo mu a omumfa niam bi enkoyie because sa bre ba bi apake afidi asie no asifie be 2 months ni 3 months ni yankwa adwuma edi enti na police fuo betuma ba fie so mo ba fa fidie enti yesre no so mo na nimra fom ohwehwem yie na de omo ye no enwaye yesre no pa yesre no eska de na wunim so mo eska so wunim so omo eska mba omo eska bebre ba to omo ba ya nya eska mo na ye fidie ni sifie a omo ba be fa enti ana yeso ya ampre ye boget na yeso me sam jam fi se ma so patasie na we ana ye mo de omo ka esan machi na se to so bie mu a omo ka no omo de bewura fam
ano wudimi nya na kwan se onko saa keke o ti ase e janya na ya se uja na kwan e ma wako ba de omo ni si akwanya ne si wono chaje o ba chaje wono se wanya wo se wo fu afidi akọ afidi ni so wo fa akọ no sebi empreduasa ebi ame akwati siga akọtọ siga machine ebi abes 30 billion ana 28 billion no akọtọ machine no se ni ba no ebi kwa 1 billion kwa wo wuru bi da wo ti ase na wo be so ba fa machine akọ o be machine ni tuo anu kwa nim nyame anim ni o kasa asam ni kira wo dia wa hwe ya je ese de besie no anya papa eti sabasa na asawo so no ngura nyina mo kana se na so ka cheni bare si so wo nti asie na se bia me ma 500 ma 200 million na so wo nti asie dia na so ba fo me machine akọ ana so bobo me machine tuo dia ene me so me ngura nyina no.
The pressure is getting The pressure is getting economies here ne hojo onyansafo ba onyansafo a wanom nsa o mo kasa onyame ahyira yo onyame ahyira ana me ka kyerem se Ghana ya benya onyansafo a wanom nsa mo mpa we na mo pa so tro obi kasa onyame ahyira yo papa bi aka mi sisi a na ne mo koto chacha na ye di papa ekosi United Nations samu mu United Nations oh awurade mbere mu ne wi ase ya na ade no san ba bie mu a bo beti mada Ghana for beti mada Ghana for beti awurade yakopɔ mampani na o ka mada ana what is ba mu ya wa ka mada oh awurade mesremo ya nto chacha na minimu so obehu ya mabo obebie bi na matete nsem bi na ya mesre obi se o sika pa sika nko a eye den na pa grant ebuabu sika no na ye di tumi ne ko hye dan kwansa efi se empani mu no eni nyansa mu no enye sika nko a obi se na no ya pa okasa basa motherfucker what is asem no and this is oh try motherfucker na on a plate bi say we dey ye nye elections no ye nko campaign ye bebo plate no motherfucker hey motherfucker United Nations na ne bukofu a obeka motherfucker everade moa nyina
I just ignore them. Atachi and Kabeti I respond. No. Why I'm not going to respond to Atachi and say, even President Akufo-Addo Kura Odi Dinatem, Echireme or Heathrow Airport, say he is not fit to be president. Heathrow Airport, and that time Akufo-Addo won. Intinam Wala say, when Yakukudro, na FAD Akufo-Addo ye the minister Okoje. Yeah. But this time, first, I'm going to first work on our share them one. And the filthy words on no so many call World Bank, you and I, in some the filthy words he used to describe Akufo-Addo, Chirame London Heathrow Airport. And he said, on no crow or any free crow back. But to me, the dinner term, and you were a media, I'm nobody. And I'm not going to respond. But Onkai, so or conscience, Onkai Asamoah, or catching about Heathrow Airport. Madam, is so nasty about Akufo-Addo. I've never said me by and I'm about catching Akufo-Addo. He would never have made him a minister. But I didn't say anything. And I'm not responding to anybody. Or I'm just staying focused. I'm staying focused. Where the distraction? One person here now can be now only message. In the Canada, Japan, on your presidential material, when you say, Sabre, I mean, say, no respond. All of my exposed room, almost inefficiencies. Because they were waiting for Canada, Japan. Almost meet them going and say, a baby dimatem, and my book for them respond. No more use no. And then they don't have a message. They are not telling Ghanaians what they can do, or the delegates what they can do. And you know, my sister, I have a vision, I have a dream for Ghana. I just ignore them. Atachi and Kabeti I respond. No. Why I'm not going to respond to Atachi and say, even President Akufo-Addo Kura Odi Dinatem, Echireme or Heathrow Airport, say he is not fit to be president.
One of the things that people do not know that Ken is indeed and in fact a colleague of mine at Adisada College.
Oh, you were in Adisada too?
Oh, yes. And Ken was very good in economics. And I was very strong in literature. So, like two village boys who've come to a very strong school, we used to compare notes, and whilst I'll help him with literature, he also helped me with economics. So, we have a long-standing bond. One of the things that people do not know that Ken is indeed and in fact a colleague of mine at Adisada College.
Oh, you were in Addis Ababa too?
Oh, yes. And Ken was very good in economics. And I was very strong in literature. So, like two village boys who've come to a very strong school, we used to compare notes, and whilst I'll help him with literature, he also helped me with economics. So, we have a long-standing bond. One of the things that people do not know, that Ken is indeed and in fact a colleague of mine at Addis Ababa College.
Oh, you were in Addis Ababa too?
Oh, yes. And Ken was very good in economics. And I was very strong in literature. So, like two village boys who've come to a very strong school, we used to compare notes, and whilst I'll help him with literature, he also helped me with economics. So, we have a long-standing bond.
The pressure is getting... The pressure is getting...
Majority chief whip of this side. We will not sit and disobey the orders of the court. So we went through the processes painfully and got a judicial pronouncement. All means you can hold your press conferences outside and say things against the judiciary. We won't do that. We will observe the orders of the court. If you are minded, the tournament for doing so is in the courtroom. This is the presence of Parliament and the foyers of Parliament.
In politics, you must understand the following. 1, nobody has your interest. 2, everybody is chasing their interest. 3, dealing with politicians is like sleeping with tigers. You must always have your eyes wide open. 4, and this is one of my favorites. In any political equation, there's always someone being used. If you look around and you can't find that person, then it is you. 5, serving politicians is like a bandage on a wound. Once the wound is healed, your usefulness ends. 6, in politics, never will more than the bereaved. They will get the reward while you inherit their enemies. 7, in politics, in any event, if other interests conflict with your interests and you have to choose, always choose yours. In politics, you must understand the following. 1, nobody has your interest. 2, everybody is chasing their interests. 3, dealing with politicians is like sleeping with tigers. You must always have your eyes wide open. 4, and this is one of my favorites. In any political equation, there's always someone being used. If you look around and you can't find that person, then it is you. 5, serving politicians is like a bandage on a wound. Once the wound is healed, your usefulness ends. 6, in politics, never will more than the bereaved. They will get the reward while you inherit their enemies. 7, in politics, in any event, if other interests conflict with your interests and you have to choose, always choose yours. In politics, you must understand the following. 1, nobody has your interest. 2, everybody is chasing their interests. 3, dealing with politicians is like sleeping with tigers. You must always have your eyes wide open. 4, and this is one of my favorites. In any political equation, there's always someone being used. If you look around and you can't find that person, then it is you. 5, serving politicians is like a bandage on a wound. Once the wound is healed, your usefulness ends. 6, in politics, never will more than the bereaved. They will get the reward while you inherit their enemies. 7, in politics, in any event, if other interests conflict with your interests and you have to choose, always choose yours.
About 3 petitions as of today have been referred to the president for the removal of the special prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, this comes on the heels of the removal of the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, next on the agenda is the removal of the EC. Something is happening in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, something is happening in this country. If we are minded to fight corruption, we should be hesitant in the way and manner that we are attacking office of accountability. Mr. Speaker, these bodies were created to be fearless, independent, and to prosecute their business without any big brother overlooking their shoulders. Mr. Speaker, it's becoming very difficult for the OSP to function. And I am very sad that even the amounts that the OSP requested to be able to prosecute his business for 2026 has been reduced by almost 50%. If we are to take out the special prosecutor, and then what is left with the office? Are we going to appoint an NDC person to come and to occupy the office? What is the plan?
Honorable members.
Mr. Speaker, we are approving estimates for the office to function. The arrowhead of the office has become a target. Mr. Speaker, there has been an attempt to remove some constitutional officers already, and now we are coming to this particular office of the special prosecutor. What is his crime?
Mr. Speaker, there's no way the government is pursuing anybody out of office. There's no way. That cannot be a statement of fact on this floor. Citizens have rights to petition, and they must have done that. It does not constitute a removal. So don't make the suggestion. We are approving the estimates for next year's operations for the office of the special prosecutor, not the special prosecutor. So this attempt to malign government at the slightest opportunity must not be countenanced.
Niakano yedi yan hoden ye moja yen kra yin nyina de bon ho ban Nana Akufo-Addo leading the vanguard, Dr. Bawumia tai nechi ne nyina nso yedi achi yemia ya boso ya je yeman no ye koso anso age yeman ne nko ne aka no yedi yan hoden ye moja yen kra yin nyina de bon ho ban Nana Akufo-Addo leading the vanguard, Dr. Bawumia tai nechi ne nyina nso yedi achi yemia ya boso ya je yeman no ye koso anso age yeman ne.
And these questions advertise the name of the minister in charge of public sector reforms. Been on the order people for a very long time. Very, very long time. So we have to take it because we'll be rising on Friday. We have to take this question. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Besides, front bench. Minister for Agric just wrote to us. I was just given a copy that he cannot come. That's fine. Eric has been a very dutiful person. I won't begrudge him. But his deputy must be here. The president must be watching. The first reshuffle must happen. So that they are Honorable Van der Poel, for instance. He is waiting. He has been lacing his shoe for a very long time. The first reshuffle must happen. Leader, tell the president, the ministers who are not ready to do public business, the president must reshuffle them. Honorable Zuela is ready. Honorable Sasu, for instance, has been suffering for long. He's all waiting. And these questions advertise the name of the minister in charge of public sector reforms. Been on the order people for a very long time. Very, very long time. So we have to take it because we'll be rising on Friday. We have to take this question. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Besides, front bench. Minister for Agric just wrote to us. I was just given a copy that he cannot come. That's fine. Eric has been a very dutiful person. I won't begrudge him. But his deputy must be here. The president must be watching. The first reshuffle must happen. So that they are Honorable Van der Poel, for instance. He is waiting. He has been lacing his shoe for a very long time. The first reshuffle must happen. Leader, tell the president, the ministers who are not ready to do public business, the president must reshuffle them. Honorable Zuela is ready. Honorable Sasu, for instance, he has been suffering for long. He's all waiting. And these questions,
Now, me the NDC, they are born here. I have cursed NDC. They are one of the young now for a big man of a born here. NDC, they are one the winning year. And of course, and no make a siapa and never one so. And young couple of Fanebois on tournament or tournament. And that erate about tournament one. We say, Openafona, yeah, you soon a soul for and non honey.
We are Hata et Yehovah, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Navashika, Uvika Miyodika, Toda Yashach. We are Hata et Yehovah, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Navashika, Uvika Miyodika, Toda Yashach. We are Hata et Yehovah, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Navashika, Uvika Miyodika, Toda Yashach.
Government is broke, but people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now. Government is broke.
Well, good morning, and once again, Happy New Year, and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moore. It's always a pleasure to come your way. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we're glad in it. I want to say a big thanks to the Almighty Allah for giving us the rare privilege of returning here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making rounds in our dear country, Ghana. My name, once again, is Aldo Moro, and this is Good Morning Ghana 2026 edition. Today is the 6th, I believe, 6th of January. And I want to say big thanks for joining us on the show. You've been very loyal throughout the years, and we appreciate you. We value you. Without you, we don't have a business. Please keep faith with the Good Morning Ghana team, Metro TV, and the Ignite Media Group. We're grateful for everything that you've done for us. So I'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. Some, in fact, majority of the papers are not on the newsstands because they are on break. But let's deal with the ones that are out. So Daily Graphic has a president receives rave reviews on first year anniversary. The 77th annual New Year school opens today. Finance Minister unveils 2026 strategy. VAT overhaul drives economic reset, and Reverend Wengam urges citizens to be patriotic, incorruptible. That's with the Daily Graphic for today. Now, the Daily Searchlight has Otunfo pays historic visit to IGP today, and as all power is from God, Kennedy Ejipon says, as clergy endorse him. Unpaid teachers warn of legal action if arrears remain unresolved. Kwacho Fusu hints of links between Uforiate's family and Kisi Ejabing. There's Honorable Eje Mensah, MP for Wasa East, celebrates Christmas with over 1,500 branch and constituency executives. That's with the daily searchlight for today. Now let's look at the Ghanaian Times. It has passengers stranded in Accra, no buses to convey travelers as school resume. And there's a 2-4-page historic visit to IGP today. There's ensuring examination credibility. Strict invigilation won't be compromised. President Mahama. Daily Guide has Brian takes over Wale Wale, receives a rousing welcome. The top clergy endorsed Ken Japan, $214 million gold purchase loss. Gold board fights back. Reverend Wengam calls for patriotic citizens. Frankedu Ezen Petroleum new board chair. That's with the Daily Guide for today. And the Insight says that SMG condemns U.S. aggression against Venezuela, calls for global action over deepening crisis. Adam G.H. drags third term bid to Supreme Court for interpretation. There's Mampugu Traditional Council slams removal of Boko Naba. Economic stability boosts auto business as inflation drops, says Irata Motors Chief Executive Officer. There's IPAGG opposes CRC's proposal to extend presidential term. Thousands march in Havana as Cuban president denounces U.S. attack on Venezuela as state terrorism. And, President Trump says Cuba and Colombia and so on should be careful in that he may just pay them a visit soon. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Ghana worried over U.S. military invasion of Venezuela, calls for release of Maduro. That's with the front page of today's Insight newspaper. Now, because again, most of the papers are out, would add some online portals in our review, as we've been doing since Monday when we resumed officially for 2026. I'll start with your favorites and yours truly, MetroTVOnline.com. It has Jordan Ayew and Fatai Isaku scores 2-1, secure 2-1 win for Leicester City against West Brom. And there's Nigeria sweep aside Mozambique to march into AFCON quarterfinals. I didn't say finals. That's Nigel Gazy clarifies Black Stars World Cup prophecy. CMG condemns assault on journalists by fire service officers. I'm not a womanizer. Nigel Gazy denies allegations. And as I know who the next president of Ghana will be, Nigel Gazy has been talking still. MPP won't get even 30% of votes with Ken Japan as flag bearer. Nigel Gazy has been talking. I pray for my father, Mahama. Prophet Nigel Gazy has also been talking. And then let's go to Ghana Web. The way you're going, you take 80% of teachers' vote. We don't want that. Pianim Chites Mahama. There's a violinist sues Will Smith and management company claiming wrongful termination and sexual assault. There's a blueprint for feeding nations. Can Ghana schools show us a smarter way to end hunger? Gold Board is an update of PMMC, not a rebranding. And there's World Cup worry for Ghana. Salisu ruled out after season-ending ACL injury. And why January has 60 days. There's most of the applause and praise of Mohammed's government. There's Prophet Ebonoa arrested. That's on Ghana Web. Now, if you check out City Newsroom or the City Newsroom, it has a Gold Board help channel Forex into bank, stabilized city, COA Champong. Mohammed's first year marked by lower inflation, strong growth and currency gains. Bright Simmons has been talking. Gold Board cannot solve gold smuggling. And Dr. Hugh Champon says Ghana's economy is set for stronger growth in 2026. And Bright Simmons is back. It says stability of exchange rate critical for businesses. And Bafwe says Ayine failed on oral the day he dropped NDC cases. There's Maduro wife plead not guilty to drug and weapons charges. Now, let's look at Major Online. That's the last but not the least. So Major Online this morning says that speed up as people are losing hope. Dom level presses AG on corruption cases. A year without big scandals and the new Mahama government could shift corruption perception. Dom level. Managing power without retaliation is Ghana's real assets. Professor Jumandia. Now, if you improve teachers' housing and put my party to shame, our friendship will break. Kwame Pianim jokingly tells Mahama. There's institutional heads removal are becoming a dangerous political culture. Professor Jumandia is still talking, and his class media journalist says he lost 10,200 cedis during assault by fire service officers. So that's with the online portals for today. And you can see what we just displayed on the screens. That's metrotvonline.com. So please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana. My guests are seated. They'll be introduced shortly.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel-Kit.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kit, happy smile.
The festive season is here again, and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Good morning, Mr. Ding.
Good morning, Ejako. And why do you keep staring at my rubbish container?
I'm surprised you're still using a bin without a cover. You know it can cause a mess.
My bin is just fine. Look, there is no leakage, still solid and robust. If you will excuse me, I have work to do.
Yo.
Dustbins are a great way of keeping trash off the street and homes. However, the use of bins without fitting covers pose a challenge with stench from rotten items, flies, and scavengers. Keep the environment clean and healthy. Get dustbins with fitting covers.
Right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. My guests are seated. And yeah, as always, today promises to be a very, very interesting conversation. And so please stay with us. So my guest today, the Honorable Inus Afuseni. The Honorable Inus Afuseni is a former MP for Tamale Central, a former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, and also a former Minister for Roads and Highways. He's with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And thank you very much for joining us on the show.
You're welcome.
And as Muslims, we always say, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah. And then also on the other side is a man who at some point wanted to, in fact, he contested a flag bearership race of his party, and that's the New Patriotic Party. He didn't succeed, but he is also a Democrat. He understands that when you contest any position, especially political position, there are only two things. You either win or lose, simple as that. So he accepted it in good faith, but he says, we should just watch out. But when, we don't know. But for now, he says, let's focus on supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to become the president of this country. That's his main focus for now. So we don't know how is all going to pan out. But I'm talking about a man, Kojo Pokunsafua. He's also an energy expert. He likes to speak a lot on energy, except that these days he has these videos that he produces and he speaks on some other issues that he finds. I think he's developed some other passion for some other things, and so. But that's good. I like people who are widely read, and I've been privileged to be a recipient of some of these videos, and I watch and I learn a lot from some of the things that he does. So he's also the executive director of INSTEP. That's INSTEP PR. I hope I don't got it.
Institute for Energy Policies and Research. INSTEP. The R is silent.
Oh, okay. Oh, the R is silent. Okay, INSTEP. All right. And also, of course, speaks for the MPP as and when he has time, and he has interest in that particular topic. He doesn't just talk about it, just anything. If he feels and believes that this is something that is extremely important, he would like to talk about it. So good to see you.
Good morning, my brother.
And I hope that you're doing very well.
I'm very good. I mean, like you talked about the video. I think that there has been instances where there are some gray areas that I think is very important for someone to share light. And I just thought, look, it's better to do some of these. And now, I don't need to try and get an attention of a radio or a TV station to do that. TikTok can give you 100,000 views, just like that. So it's been good, and people are appreciating some of these that I do, and I think I'm being encouraged to do more. Initially, I'll do them in English, and some people will send me and say, "Joe Boss, can you please do them in Twi?" So now I'm mostly doing some of them in Twi. But I mean, the last one I did was to do with the recent December. I mean,
what is in terms of
difficult, dirty? No, it's not Dirty December. Yes, and year of the return, or as recently been christened as the Black Star Experience.
Yeah,
I think it's a theme, whatever name you want to give December, but I think Ghana to be a well-known tourism destination, there's a lot that we need to do.
Right.
Because people are coming to Ghana with a certain level of expectations. They have the money they want to spend. But look, in the US, you get very prominent people talking that Ghana is like Miami.
Right.
And for Ghana to be compared to Miami, that's a great feast, right? But then one that much is given, much is expected.
Right.
The minute you are being compared with certain destinations, then people are coming in expecting the what you get in those destinations, right? So our restaurants, our bars, our nightclubs, all the event centers that people visit should be up to par. Has to. So I think Ghana Tourism Authority has a long way to go in enforcing some bylaws, making sure there are regulations to find ways to check people extorting people, right? This December, there are talks of people hiking their prices 3 times, 4 times, place, and we are not even getting value for money. People are complaining about, I don't mind paying, but what I'm even getting is not what I'm paying for, right? So I think I did that video and I sent it to the Honorable Minister, I sent it to Mami for at GTA. I've sent it to a few people, and the response so far is that, look, yes, something needs to be done, and I hope the industry sets up. And Ghana is now at the pinnacle. A lot of West African countries envy what we have in December. If we are not careful, they are also coming up, and they will knock us off that pinnacle, and we will lose that return home, whatever name we want to call it, the Black Star experience or the homecoming experience that people want. And a lot of visitors are coming into Ghana. So I'm hoping that the industry listens and we change our ways.
I see. So the Black Star experience is, as you may want to term, is part of the, what they call the event of 2025. Of course, it's at some point, it dovetailed into 2026. So that perhaps I may want us to start a conversation this week. In fact, the whole of this week, we intend to dedicate it to reflecting on 2025. That's the big second coming of President John Dramani Mahama. Of course, there are some people who didn't give him a dog's chance. Some people felt that there was no way he was ever going to win an elections in this country. He contested in 2020. We saw what happened. He was able to have what he lost in 2016, and then in 2024, we saw what happened. Close to about 1.7 million votes or so. Now, I'll start with the Honorable Yunus Hussaini. I'm sure you've been reflecting on the 2024 elections. Mahama is coming back. I recall Yunus Hussaini and I, back in the day, we used to talk quite often, and he was telling me, there's Abuchi, the man is coming. I said, hey, Honorable, he said, does he take it from me? The man is coming. You know, and the man finally came. He became president. I don't know what you've been thinking, Honorable, 1 year down the line. What do you think would be some of the highs and maybe some lows where you think that the government have chalked some major successes, where you think that the government going forward would have to look at and perhaps, you know, do what I'll call a rejigging or a retweaking, or basically improve upon simplicity. What have been your reflections, Honorable, 2025?
So, Umar Sanda, let me first of all extend my sincere New Year greetings to you and your TV station and to your family.
Right.
I mean, last time we met was in 2025.
Right.
On this set, when you gave me some cocoa to drink.
Yes, it's on its way.
Oh, very well, thank you. And to my colleague and co-panelist, Kojo Poko, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy New Year, belated Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, sir.
It's always important that when you have a contribution to make to the development of this country, you make it in ways that you think can impact the country.
Right.
It's better than keeping the ideas in your head, and when Ghana suffers some difficulty, then you sit somewhere and say, well, I knew that this would happen because I had ideas. So congratulations for bringing up. I mean, I have no doubt that tourism can be a game changer, and Ghana is uniquely placed. We have a lot of silent points in this country. You know, Ghana is the only country right on the equator.
Right.
And so both the Greenwich and the equator passes through Ghana. And then so I mean, a lot of selling points. We have this unique history of being an exit point for the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
Most people in the diaspora trace their origins to Ghana. We are a peaceful country. I mean, we have elected by consensus to resolve our dispute by pacific means, going to court and not taking cudgels and fighting each other. Our democracy has survived. The last experiment started in 1992. It's enduring, and we are even thinking of amending certain portions of the Constitution to make our institutions robust and fit for purpose. And so, clearly, I should commend Poku for bringing attention to matters that can clearly improve upon our welfare and performance as a country in the tourism sector. I mean, there is a country called, or a place called Tenerife. It's off the coast of Spain. It's part of Spain. The whole economy is on tourism. The whole economy is on tourism.
Dubai as well.
Where?
Dubai is tourism.
Well, Dubai is another conversation altogether.
Yeah.
If you want to see how you can deploy purpose, determination, intentionality in leveraging your assets to promote the development of your country, you have two examples. You have the example of Dubai, and you have the example of Norway. And Norway was a remote fishing country.
Yeah.
And well, the nearest it had to international trade was because of the vessels, the ships that it had. It discovered oil at the same time. UK discovered oil. They made a conscious, deliberate effort to translate the oil resource to benefit the whole country. Set up the sovereign fund. State participated in the oil exploitation. Today they have $1.3 trillion in the sovereign fund worth, the richest in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard what is happening in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Norway hasn't got the kind of resource that Venezuela has.
And yet.
But hyperinflation has robbed Venezuela of all the benefits that can come from that resource. Look at Dubai. They were only known for pearls. Pearls. That's what they were trading in. And the geographical location encouraged, because that was where the Asia met Europe. And so goods which were moving from Europe would transit around that area. That was what they were known for.
Yeah.
And they discovered oil. And they knew that that was an asset, a finite resource. Translate it, exploit it, develop it, use it to catalyze the development of your country. And that's what they've done. Today it's not known for oil. It's known for hospitality.
Yeah.
It's known for telecommunication. I mean, there are many new things coming out of Dubai because they were able to translate that resource into the development of your country. So our resources, our gold, our bauxite, our cocoa, must not only be resources that we read in geography books of how Ghana is endowed with resources.
Yeah.
These are resources consistent with the African mining vision. These are resources that should help us catalyze the development of this country. And that is why I allowed the initiation of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the establishment of the Gold Board.
Yeah. This is the whole conversation we're going to have.
It operationalizes the UN resolution which encourages countries to exercise permanent sovereignty over their natural resources. And for us in this country, the establishment and if you want, the giving of the Gold Board exclusive right to all minerals won, and particularly gold won from the small-scale mining sector, as what has changed the game for Ghana. You're talking about us, talking about 2025.
Yeah.
Now we entered 2025 with an inflation hovering around 23%.
Yeah.
23-24%. I mean, clearly, when inflation is high in the country, it robs businessmen of the ability to plan.
Yeah.
It robs the workers, salaried workers, of their purchasing power parity.
Right.
I mean, and so you are worse off. I mean, it affects your CD as well. Now, and so if you are able to rein in inflation, you are translating the benefits of lower inflation to businesses, to workers, and to the generality of the country. And for a very long time, since the early 70s, Ghana has not recorded this kind of performance. Meaning, they coming into office, and I always say, and I told you before John Dramani Mahama stood, I told you that John Dramani Mahama was going to contest in the 2020 elections.
True.
I also told you that he will come back in the 2020.
I had doubts, but
yes, but I told you he will come. Because you see, we had worked with him. I had a unique privilege to work with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And I appreciate his love and concern for the development of this country. I mean, I always give the example of when I was road minister and we were doing the Naliligo Wale Road. And the president was worried about the slow pace of work. Whoever was telling the president that work was not going on that road had managed to convince the president that nothing was happening. Then one night, around 1 o'clock, I had put off my phones and I was sleeping. His Excellency the President sent his ADC to my house to wake me up at 1 o'clock and bring me to his house to answer questions on what the status of that road from 1 a.m. 1 a.m.
Eh?
Yes. 1 a.m. I mean, and so when people were saying all sort of things about His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and anytime you attempted to explain the passion, the zeal, the focus of this man, and the intention of the man towards the development of the country, people thought because you were appointed his minister, you had no any other option than talking good of him. But you need to know the man. So I was not surprised at all. First of all, let's go back to the election 2016 to understand who John is.
Right.
Election 2016 was fought on certain economic indicators. Now, we were told that this country was heavily indebted. 55 or so billion Ghana cedis debt was heavily indebted. That's what we were told. Inflation was hovering around 11%. It was terrible. The country was growing between 6, 7, and 8%. Terrible. These were the indicators of 2016. The infrastructure that was being done. I mean, we were told that we don't eat roads. You know, remember the Circle interchange and the Kasua interchange. We were told that we're not eating roads. You know, corruption. All attempts to convince the Ghanaians that John Dramani Mahama was less corrupt than those who were struggling to remove him from office. Ghanaians will not buy. But I understand. Because
you've forgotten about the incompetent tag.
It is an incompetent tag. Now, I'll come to that. The culmination of all that was that John Dramani Mahama was incompetent. Then these people, the Ghanaians bought the narrative, voted him out massively. I mean, our support base in Volta region was weakened to the extent that the people refused to come out to vote for the NDC. Because they had sent a narrative that even though they were voting massively for NDC, there was nothing to show in the Volta region. All these things played out.
And there were also pictures of development in some other regions.
Regions that were not...
that were circulated in the Volta region, and that sort of demoralized them to a very large extent, yes.
Now, so you fight election on a set of indicators, and you win the elections. Then 8 years down the line, your exit indicators do not even come close to the set of indicators which gave you the temerity to describe the man as incompetent. So, the outcome of election 2024.
Before we get to the outcome of 2024, Honorable Yusuf Hussaini, and we've had this conversation before, but that's off record, and maybe I needed to talk about this on record. Post 2016, you recall there was a lot of talk amongst NDC supporters, there's both people who were very close to him and those who were not. And the reaction or the conversation was a bit, okay, so there were two groups. There were those who felt that John should just hang his gloves, hang his boots, and kiss this whole enterprise called politics goodbye. I recall that you were one of those who said no. And you insisted that you were going to do everything possible to get John Mahama to stand again or to contest again. Then we saw some publications on some news portals, and we were told that Ibrahim Mahama and a few other family friends had told John Mahama that he shouldn't contest again. Of course, subsequently, we found out that apparently Ibrahim Mahama didn't say anything like that. You know, we've heard that. Tell me, why were you convinced at the time that despite the fact that this man who had lost an elections for close to with almost 1 million votes, okay, and the fear of some NDC supporters that, look, if you bring this man back in 2020 and doesn't win, what will become the future of the party? Because if it doesn't win in 2020 for some people, 2024 is even going to be more difficult. You at the time believed that no, John Mahama had what it took. In fact, you believed that it was only John Mahama who could bring the NDC back to power. Why were you so convinced in that belief at the time?
Part of that belief has been explained to you.
Yes.
That this is a man who has demonstrated his commitment to the development of the country in ways that puts his good intentions for this country beyond doubt.
I get that. But so you see, Honorable, his intentions, good heart, and so on aside. But there were some people who felt at the time, and we've had this conversation off record. I said we've had it off record, I'm bringing it back. But nevertheless, those who even knew who his character was, okay, also thought that he had been politically damaged. Close to 1 billion votes. And remember at the time, it's historic. It had never happened before, sitting president losing close to 1 billion votes. In any case, John has been around for a long time. So look, just go home and rest.
No, we couldn't allow him to go home and rest.
So it wasn't really about what he had done or couldn't do, but the verdict at the time, 2016, was so bad that there were some people who felt that, look, Jay Kazao Nagida, you are done.
No.
But you said no. And I'm asking that why?
Why? Because
how did you believe that the man was going to overturn 1 million votes and come back?
Personally, let me tell you personally, I thought that John Dramani Mahama would be hard done by if we made it impossible for him to come back to vindicate what he stood for.
Okay, right.
Okay?
Right.
Now, secondly, as a Northerner, the way I view politics is linked to the way John Dramani Mahama views politics.
Okay.
Politics must be an instrument that you should use to catalyze the development of your country and your people. You have been given unique power. Exercise the power in such a way that when you are done with the opposition as president, people will still remember you because of the good things that you have done. Thirdly, Ghana's record simply did not favor a John Dramani Mahama doing only 4 years.
Okay.
The only time we had a president of northern extraction in this country was Hillel Liman.
That's true.
He didn't complete his term. He didn't complete his term.
Right.
Okay? He did just about 22 months in office. And he was removed from office. Now, the next great opportunity we had under the constitutional rule again was John Dramani Mahama. And he did 4 years. Not by fault of his, but because of the way power was alternating between the parties in this country. John Dramani Mahama had done 4 years, but the NDC in 2016 had done 8 years. And power alternates. I mean, in an 8-year cycle.
Right.
So it was wholly unfair to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to say that, well, why do you want to come back when you have 4 years?
Yeah.
And again, let me say without any fear of contradiction, I believed inherently in me that because he was uniquely placed in the way he ruled this country as president from 2013 to 2016, he will be a better president if he came back.
Okay.
Nothing could convince me that a John Mahama, the return of John Mahama, will not be better than 2013 because he had learned on the ropes. He's appreciated the dynamics of governance.
Right.
He's seen decisions, and I mean, he took the time that he was out of office to reflect on his presidency. And I bet you there are things that John Dramani Mahama between now and 2028 as president will never do. That's what experience does.
Yeah.
It's a better teacher. So why will you throw away this value and go for an unknown? When Nana Akufo-Addo said, "Somohwe, try me,"
Yeah.
because he had no experience. He was only counting on goodwill and imagination of the people that he could do something. The people bought into his invitation to try him. We put him there. And you see the end result. Now, I knew in 2016, 2020, 2024, that working for John Dramani Mahama to come back was working for a worthy cause. Yeah.
You promised that you were going to do everything possible to get him to contest again. Now, and I still recall that conversation at Cantonment. Now, what was his disposition? You know, what was his demeanor? What was his whole attitude towards a comeback? You know, because and I'm asking this because I want to understand whether, and folks, we're doing this for a reason. Because remember that we're doing 2025 in retrospect, so we need to understand where John Mahama is coming from. He's been there, lost elections, contested again, and is back. And generally, I think the Ghanaians believe that he's doing a good job. So we need to understand how this whole journey started. That's where Yunus Hussein is trying to bring all of us back. So he takes us back to 2016. What happened to him with his massive defeat and the kinds of efforts that have been put in place or were put in place to get him to contest again. Was it difficult to convince John? Because you used to talk to him quite often. sometimes when I'm with you, you call you and you guys talk. But was it difficult to convince him to come back to contest again?
I mean, okay.
Oh, those ones you read your memoir.
The early days, to be honest with you, the early days was difficult.
Okay. Why? What was John's?
No, you see, so I would do a host of talk shows. You have been a host for a very long time and on many platforms, and you're doing wonderfully well. Then one day your employers get and say, "Look, I think Audi is not fit for purpose."
Yeah.
You might think of leaving media altogether.
I agree with you.
You know, it's sapping.
Yeah.
To sap your energy. Yeah. This was somebody who could wake his minister up in the night at 1 o'clock and ask him what he was doing. I mean, you go to cabinet and he's listening to you and makes decisions that you're surprised. Why? Somebody came and told the president about this. I mean, every minister who went to cabinet had to prepare to be able to defend his memo. And Daniel said this man was incompetent. I'm sure in his quiet times he asks himself, am I that incompetent? Am I that bad? So he was. The first few months were really difficult. I remember the first few months he arrived in Tamale. It's not good to lose elections. So he arrived in Tamale, and then by I think that was that time Antrak or so.
Okay.
And the VVIP was there. He didn't make an effort, and I was at the airport to meet him. That was a few days after the Eid, so I was still in my white gown. And he didn't make any attempt to go to the VVIP. He was going to the passenger lounge, a common place. I was with him. And I stopped him. When he was going, I stopped him. I said, Excellency, where are you going? He said, well, let's go. I said, no. Excellency. We stood on the tarmac for some time before he was convinced that he needed to go to the VVIP. So you see, if you lose an election, you definitely need people who will appreciate you.
Yeah.
And tell you that, and reassure you that in fact you did your best. I'm happy John Dramani Mahama has come back. I'm really happy he has come back. Because what I knew, I told her in conversations, I used to tell you that he will come back. And that he will win the elections. In fact, I have believed that even John Dramani Mahama wanted to take to the elections.
That's an interesting point. We'll take a visa. He just made a very controversial point, which is that in 2020 he believes that John Mahama won the elections. Hey, you tell me why. So stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on the Metro TV.
Start your kids' day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 and connect with us on Instagram, X and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less, choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enyi. Yonkwala ntade mani mema nyina ntare nyina wase. Yonkwala shoes, yonkwala duane, yonkwala wipes, yonkwala diapers, yonkwala toys, baby coat. In fact, bibia opama omanyina obenye biwa ase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Chrome KFC. Contact us on 059 6377 172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye bye.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now. Hey, is that you? Improve car. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friendly sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Come tum preko.
You're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with Kojo Nsafwa Poku, who is an energy expert and also a member of the MPP's communications team, and also, as I've seen, a former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, former Minister for Roads and Highways, and also former MP for Tamale Central. We are being taken through history, where John Dramani Mahama is coming from, especially post the 2016 elections, the events that played out in the lead up to his decision to come back to contest the 2020 election, the 2024 elections, which has culminated into his victory. And we've seen his performance the last 1 year. Now, all of this is happening because we're trying to look back into 2025 and how the John Mahama coming back, his administration, his regime, his governance has been so far since he came. Of course, I'm sure that at some point we'll get into more specifics. especially the part about the economy and the role that Gold Board has played, because that's one of the biggest conversations that's happening now. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Those of you are sending messages, you want to hear Honorable's take on gold. We'll get there. We'll get there. So just be patient, because we cannot review the economy without looking at the role that Gold Board has played. So. Yeah, so don't worry. So, Honorable, I wanted us to quickly wrap up on this so that I can bring Kojo Poku in this, because I'm sure he also has his own thoughts on how Mahama has fared in his first year. So, yes, I guess that you're talking about the fact that you still believe that 2020 elections was not.
was won by John Mahama. I still believe that. I believe that because I was in Parliament in 2016 when we went to elections and lost the elections on December 7th. Then it produced a parliament which gave NDC 106 members. And MPP had a convincing majority. I was in Parliament. And I was in Parliament when the 2020 elections were held. And MPP, but for the premature declaration of our victory in 2020, NDC was going to get majority members of Parliament. And I've been in this election business for some time.
You mean the obviously free Ankara?
Well, I've not mentioned names.
No problem.
I've not mentioned names.
That's fine. I understand.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I have had conversation with Elvis.
Okay.
My president.
Okay.
Yes, he was the president of SRC at the University of Ghana.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've had conversations with him.
Right.
I said about for the premature declaration of victory in 2020, NDC was going to control Parliament.
Okay.
And I've been in elections for some time. And if you study Ghana elections, the win of the president goes with his majority in Parliament. So if we had not prematurely declared elections, and NDC was in the majority in Parliament, it's not the reason that the people would have voted for John Dramani Mahama in a way.
All right.
Now, the second reason is, how come that the first term of Nana Akufo-Addo, people hailed him as having performed well? First term. But he performed so disastrously in that election. John Dramani Mahama had shaved off more than 500,000 votes from the votes that Nana Akufo-Addo garnered in the 2016 elections. I should tell you that John Dramani Mahama was on a comeback mission.
Right.
And so, if you win by close to 1 million, then in just one election, your competitor in the 2016 elections is able to shave off 500,000. What is left? The next election, that 500,000 will go. Right. I didn't think that NDC will win the election by more than 1.7 million votes. I didn't think that way. I thought the election was going to be tight because I thought the next 500,000 votes would also go.
Yeah.
But then, not only did they go, but the NDC added its own and also set a record. So in 2016, the 2016 elections established that John Dramani, a president, could lose elections by close to 1 million votes. Before that, it had never happened.
Yeah.
And then the 2024 elections had established a new norm. That it's possible for a president to lose elections by 1.7 million, or a candidate to lose elections by 1.7 million votes. So that's John Dramani for me. He's an enigma. He's also a workaholic. Yes, he's a lamb. He's not one of the aggressive type. He's not vindictive. He likes to listen before taking decisions. And so people mistook that for him being weak. I mean, he will listen to you. I mean, he might listen to you, not agree with you, but will say it in your face, I disagree with you. You say, okay, so let's see what we'll do. When you sit with John Dramani Mahama, talk, I don't know of now, and talk to him for some time, and says, okay, let's see what to do.
That's all.
He's dismissed what you have said. But if he's going to take a decision, he will immediately put things in place to show you that clearly the decision will be taken on that.
Okay, so would you say so far so good since he came?
So you see the intentionality.
Okay.
You see, his 2025 presidency was characterized with a deep sense of purpose.
Right.
He was very intentional about the things that he wanted to do in 2025. And you see a determination to leave a legacy. Very early in his term of office, he set the alarm bells ringing on constitutional reform. Very early. That Ghanaians have been clamoring for a review of the constitution. Let's have it done. Let's set up a committee. Very early, he has said, look, even before we won the elections, he said, I'm going to work with a very lean government. And I'm going to work with 60 ministers. For the first time, people are even thinking, the Constitutional Review Committee is even thinking, that because of the performance of John Dramani Mahama, it's possible to work with less than 60 ministers. Now, I said, look at the gold board. Exercising permanent sovereignty over our natural resources, particularly gold from the small-scale mining sector, has changed the dynamics of the economy.
I guess that I'll let you land here. And then I'll bring Kujo in.
Moro.
I think it sums it all up.
If we leave you, you'll be reminiscing on this thing. I don't know where we are on this reminiscing journey that you want to go on with your uncle.
It's in retrospect.
No, this is reminiscing with your uncle. I mean, I can see. That's why I've been quiet. I've seen you two reminiscing.
Yeah, because
no, it's good. I'm enjoying the conversation. You know, sometimes when you don't know certain people and you get to hear about them from a different perspective, it's always good to listen to it. But you see, my big brother introduced a conversation that I want us to interrogate, which is the inflation in this country. You know, most of the times we tend to use inflation as a measure of performance of government. And I want us and let Ghanaians be educated on this. You see, Ghana is not a village on its own. The world is now a global village. Whatever happens around the world, you measure what is happening in Ghana in retrospect and in forward looking to what is happening around the world. And I want to let us go through some numbers why I, Kojo Poku, cannot believe that the first year of John Dramani Mahama's government is better than the first year of Nana Addo's government. It's not. If you compare the year on year, 2017 Nana Addo's government, 2017 and 2025, right? The good common denominator for the both is that we're in IMF in both of them.
Okay, so here you're referring to the economy.
Economy, yes.
Okay.
But that's what we are discussing. Isn't that what we're discussing?
He talked about. He's also brought up issues about governance. So
no, that's fine. We'll get into that. But I just want the inflation. I just want to build a conversation on the inflation, and I'll give you some figures so that our viewers will appreciate it better. The common denominator in both, in 2017 we were in IMF, 2016 we were in IMF, 2024 we're in IMF, 2025 we're in IMF. So it's a common denominator. If you look at the inflation around the world in 2015, 2016, then you look at the inflation in Ghana in 2015, 2016, it will tell you a certain story. And let me give you, I'm going to use two countries. The average global inflation was quite low, between 0 to some 2%, right? But in the US, right, inflation in 2016 in the US was 1.2%. Inflation in the US in 2015 was between 0.1 and 0.7. Inflation in Ghana in 2015 was 17.1%. inflation in Ghana in 2016 was 17.5%. So in the global outlook, the world inflation was very low. Now, let's look at fast forward to when people are saying that Nanado's economy failed and the inflations were high. Nanado's inflation in 2017 was January was 17.5, in 2015 it was 17.1, 2016 it was 17.5, January 2016 it was 17.7, and then in December it was about 14.4. In the subsequent year, in Nanado's 2017, it came down to 12.4%. Nanado's first year, 12.4%. Then in 2018, we achieved a single-digit inflation of 7.8%. So Ghana, this is not the first time there has been a single-digit inflation, right? Nanado's administration achieved a single-digit inflation of 7.8% in 2018. And we did quite well within that time of the years that preceded the 2019-2020. In fact, in 2021, inflation was 10%. In 2021, post-COVID. So when we talk about the world order, what really came into the world and really disrupted the value, the value chain, right? What disrupted the world economy is COVID and the Russian-Ukraine that we talk about that nobody wants to hear. But let's look at the world order, right? What was the inflation around the world after post-COVID? The OECD countries' inflation was between 10 to 25%.
Right.
OECD countries, where inflation is between 0 to 2%, their inflation was now 10 to 25%. Let's come to Ghana. In Ghana, 2021 inflation was 10%. In 2022, inflation had now gone up to 31.9%, which is a post-COVID shocks. Then in 2023, it was 39.9%. But let's now look at Europe, UK and US. When Ghana had now post-COVID, our inflation has gone up. The US, whose inflation was around 0.1 to 0.7, in 2021 was recording 27.7% inflation. A country that had 0.1% inflation in 2021 now has 7% inflation. 2022, 8% inflation. Okay? Let's go to the UK. The UK in 2021 had 4.8% inflation, 2022, 11.1% inflation. A country that had only 1.6% inflation in 2016. How do we just oppose this? When the world economy had low inflation, the John Dramani administration had a very high inflation of 17.7% inflation. That economy was not a performing economy, right? So you look at the world shocks, and we said that Nanado's administration had a single-digit inflation of the 7.8, but for COVID, which came in and shocked the whole world, and that is what landed us in the 38 and the 31 and the 39% inflation. So it was not that somebody mismanaged an economy. So when my brother says that if somebody was said that there was a tag of incompetent that NDC administration in 2014, before we went into IMF and the IMF situation came in and they were voted out. They were voted out for a reason. It wasn't that Ghanaians were made to believe. No, the numbers don't lie. There was a real problem in the economy. The economy had now gone out of hand. They had borrowed excessively, and the inflation at the time was 17.7%, when the world economy was between 0 to 2%. When they are talking about now post-COVID inflation, which the whole world was suffering from hyperinflation of between 10% to 25%, then Ghana is not to be left out of the global shocks. So I want us to put that in perspective, that what happened in Ghana for us to get to that 31% and 39% inflation was not as a result of a mismanaged economy. It's as a result of the world experiencing hyperinflation. The value chain, go to the IMF report, it tells you that the reason the OECD countries and all the other developed nations had high inflation was not of mismanagement, it was because of the pandemic. Let's put that aside.
But is that to Kojo? Is that to suggest that internally there were not some policy decisions?
Okay, so exactly. So then I'll come to that.
To the hyperinflation.
Okay, so I'll come to that.
Is that to suggest?
Now, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm just giving you in context.
Yes, the context.
Okay, the context is very important. Now, when you realize that 2023, most of the countries in the OECDs, after the shocks of the pandemic now went down, their inflation started going down. That is where the local economies come in, right? How well is your economy in the face of a pandemic, in the face of global shocks? Ghana, obviously, we had overborrowed. We had basically, and the overborrowing did not just start in the MPP era. It has continued from 2012 all the way down to where we were. And we had gone to various road shows to now pile on the bonds. So we had a peculiar situation compounded by external shocks. So what happened after was that the finance minister was faced with one option. And the World Bank representative in Ghana made a statement that you are allowed to have a pandemic year and an election year, right? Which is 2020. We had a pandemic year, election year. So we overspent, overborrowed, and it was allowed because basically you are trying to sustain your country. But what you do in 2021, after you've had that situation, is not to try and outborrow the previous year, which is what the mistake that we did. Okay? What Ghana should have done, and that is where everybody can disagree with the finance minister at the time. I disagreed with him at the time, the approach he took, right? The approach he took was that instead for us to cut down the borrowing, instead of us to cut down, let Ghanaians know that, look, we're in a very tight place, tighten our belt, and basically reverse the high borrowing we've done because of the pandemic. We did it. We went into overdrive to try and outspend the previous year, which is what led us with the e-levy, right? Which he thought that the e-levy was a panacea to solve his gap in his revenues, which didn't work, led us to IMF. Exactly. So that problem is there, and I disagreed with him at the time, the way he approached it post-pandemic. But let's not anybody deceive ourselves that Ghana was mismanaged to get us into the 30s and the 40s of inflation. No. When you look at normal times, when Ghana had high inflation, was 17.7% under the NDC administration. And in another second year, 2018, as everybody is hailing John Dramani today, we achieved single-digit inflation as well. So let's put that in perspective. How have we done in 2025? For me, I think that the NDC inherited a very good economy. An economy that was growing, an economy that has done 3.1 in 2023, has done 5.7 in 2024, right? And potential to do 6.8 in 2025 in GDP growth, which is a good thing. If you inherit an economy that is declining in GDP growth, then you say that I inherited a declined economy. But you can't say that you inherited a bad economy that did a 5.7 GDP growth, and you're saying that it was a bad economy. Yes, rightfully, let me land. Okay. Rightfully, in your budget of 2025, you decided to set your expectation at 4%. That's fine. That's your prerogative to do that. Okay. But in reality, that economy had grown by 5.7 the previous year. So look, it was a healthy economy. It was growing. Yes, there were debt overruns, which has never been the case, has never not been the case in Ghana. Every year there are debt overruns in Ghana.
But
right?
Bakajo, how can a good economy that was being managed well decide that it wants the help of the IMF? I mean,
hold on. Before you continue, are you telling me that? No, hold on. But my brother sits here and said that, but for what we told Ghanaians in 2016, John Mahama was a very good president. Did he not go to IMF? Doesn't he believe that he was managing the economy well? But I've told you why we went to IMF.
No problem.
We went to IMF because, hold on, my brother. I just explained something to you, and you've asked a question that you've already had the answer. I just told you clearly that there was a world order.
Yes.
Where every economy around the world, Ghana was not the only country that asked for IMF help.
Yes.
Even the UK at the time was asking, talking to the IMF, the UK economy, right? So going to IMF was a matter of, look, you have gone into this situation of a pandemic. Your fundamental, which is basically how much money you borrowed before going to IMF, Post the pandemic, you need to correct that and put yourself in a good stead for future. The reason our coupons were downgraded is that the outlook, if I've given you money and I've taken a coupon for the money I've given you, I need to look for the future that if that coupon is due, you can pay me. Now, because of the way we're running the economy, and the people who have the coupons now didn't have faith in our ability to basically honor the payment. That is why they downgraded us, because they feel that your outlook of your ability to pay the coupon I'm holding is low, right? So that is why we needed to go to IMF for physical space to basically say, look, we cannot, we are overwhelmed. If we are to basically be able to pay all these things, because of X, Y, Z, which I've already explained, we will not be able to meet these obligations. So we want to go for debt forgiveness, which is the DDP that went on and restructuring of our debt. That is the case. That does not take away the conversation of pre-COVID. All we are talking about today is that my brother said glorifying things about his brother, the president, right? And saying that people were fed certain information and he knew that Mahama was a better president than what we fed the Ghanaians. But the numbers did not show. The numbers show that we had an economy that had gone to IMF. We had an economy that was not growing because of the light-off situation that we had between 2013 and 2016. The economy has slowed down. We had to go to IMF for a program to basically sustain ourselves.
Fast forward to the point you made that in 2024 and 2025, the NDC inherited a good economy, and that's where my
yes, because the economy was growing. We had gone through the problem. The IMF was in town. They have basically helped with the Ministry of Finance resolve most of the issues that was not helping the country not grow. We had grown from 3.1 to 5.7, which is a good economy. That's what I'm saying, that if you look at all the indicators today, right, they now, the NDC budget read in 2025, which is even this 2026, you realize that there's a lot of growth in agriculture, a lot of growth in the service industry, a lot of growth in manufacturing. Where do you think those things came from? They didn't come from any policy they've put in place in the last 12 months, but there has been something that has been input. You see, countries are not on autopilot. Somebody must be a Reagan or somebody must be an Obasanjo, right? You put in policies that down the line bear fruits. And some of the policies that had been put in place is what gave them the big growth in agriculture, that gave them the big growth in the service industry and the big growth in manufacturing. So those areas, somebody has done something. My only problem with the NDC government led by Ato Forson is that he doesn't give credit. He does not want to give any credit. He wants to make it look like they inherited the worst economy. It's not. The gold that everybody wants to take credit for. When he read the budget in Parliament, he called the 5.7 growth a galamsey growth. Today, what are we all celebrating? Isn't it gold? Where is it coming from? Isn't it galamsey? So what are we talking about? Oh, but when he called the 5.7 growth, galamsey growth, what was it? No, but I'm just saying that. So ask him that. Let's call him and ask him that question. When he stood in the floor of Parliament, but it's on record. He stood on the House of Records and called the 5.7 growth a galamsey growth. That's what he did. And it's on TV.
And we asked him why.
No, nobody have asked him why. We are asking him how. But the point I'm making is this. Give credit.
Okay.
The only thing I have, look, the gold program. And this week has been a good week because, let me greet Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia this morning. We just finished in Greater Accra and it's going very well. But everybody has agreed that the gold program is one person's genius idea, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But everybody wants to take that credit away from him. Why? Why? Ato Forson stood with Evans on Joy. Let me land on this one. Ato Forson stand on Joy News with Evans and said that, oh, no, we are doing something different. We are sending the gold out and bringing in reserves. You came to meet gold for reserves. It wasn't a new idea because we now know. Because when Sami Jemfi was now defending himself, he brought out gold for reserve losses in 2023. You see, when we were kids, there was, I don't know if my brother remember, there is this, when you have diarrhea, they give you milk of magnesia.
Oh, yeah, the white one.
The white one, yes.
I'm not a kid, I'm very old.
Well, I said, when we were kids.
Okay.
Now, before all the fancy...
When I was in the 60s.
I know, he's 63. Sorry, I didn't want to put your age on it.
64, isn't it?
Yeah, 64 now.
64 now, yes. I know. You see, when we were kids, before all the fancy Imodiums and Pepto-Bismol, there was milk of magnesia. Now, when you have milk of magnesia, depending on how you take it, you might go from diarrhea to constipation.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's directly.
The one in the blue.
If you're not careful, you will go from diarrhea to constipation.
True.
We knew and we were doing the gold for reserves. But Mr. Addison at the time have told us that if you manage this well over time, it will sustain the currency. So remember, by the time we were leaving, the dollar has come from 16 point something to 14.3, which was the gold for reserves that we had started. The NDC came and realized that, if milk of magnesia work well, then let's swallow the whole bottle. Then they now got in constipation, which is now the problem we have with the losses at Gold Board. And
there are no losses.
There are losses which you have transferred. The losses at Gold Board, my brother, you might want to transfer the losses to Bank of Ghana's books. My brother, I understand that perfectly. I'm just telling you that you might want to transfer that losses to Bank of Ghana for Bank of Ghana to record it.
So when you say Gold Board,
they have made the law. Hold on. If you trade with somebody's money, let me explain.
Okay.
If you trade with somebody's money, right? If I give you 10 million cedis to go and get me something, and what you get me comes back less $450 million, you have made a loss. The fact that that loss sits in my books doesn't mean that you did not make that loss. See, that's the confusion everybody's making.
Okay.
That the losses was made by Gold Board. If the NDC believes so much in that Gold Board they've set up, which they want to now call it the panacea, why haven't they given them the $279 million revolving fund they promised them? Why haven't they given it to them? Because if they have given them that $279 million equivalent in cities, guess how much they will have lost this year? $214 million of that money will have been lost. You understand? So let's not go there. We'll get there. You said it's the next topic. My brother is here, and I want to hear his take.
You have introduced.
No, it's fine. I will. But
you can't gag me.
No, that's fine. So we can talk, and I'll tell you my part of it. Because you see, Kojo Poku, when it comes to Gold Board and PMMC and the Bank of Ghana, I just want to say that. Let me learn quickly so that we can introduce the Gold Board. I want to say that the 2025 government, if they give credit, we think that so far there's been that level of stability where people feel that, look, we were overpromised and underdelivered, right? Prices that were existed in 2024, we were promised are going to go down, but the whole of 2025, those prices have not gone down. Yes, though, albeit they've not increased, but they've not gone down either. Prices have gone up because we've gotten over 30% increase in electricity prices, okay? We've gotten a lot of increases in other factors, though we are saying the dollar is low. The dollar being low is not translating into the prices on the market. The shops, everything we buy, the crate of eggs, the milk, everything that a family needs is not going down. Dollar is low, but school fees is going up. Right?
Kojo, when it comes to food items, commodities, it's not entirely true that nothing has come up.
I'm not. You didn't hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that I mentioned specifics. I'm not saying that everything has not come down.
No, because of the earlier
I'm mentioning specifics.
No.
Kenkey that they made, the Kenkeys they took to the studio has not come down. It's still 5 cedis. In some areas, it's gone up because in some areas, it used to be 3 cedis. Now it's all gone to 5 cedis. Milk that I buy has not gone down. Fresh milk for the kids have not gone down. Eggs have not gone down. The crate of egg is still the crate of egg. A lot of things that I buy, the price have not gone down. I don't want to go into areas of when there's abundant supply of plantain and plantain is cheaper, when it's scarce, it's high. I don't want to get into that conversation.
But where I see you buy your stuff, I don't think that the prices.
Where you see me buy my stuff, but where you see me buy my stuff is where the dollar should reflect. Okay. Because where you see me buy my stuff, I buy imported goods.
No, but that's in penny.
No, but I buy. Yes, but isn't that where? Hold on. Kaneshi and Maximat, where should the dollar reflect?
Both.
No, the dollar should reflect in Maximat because Maximat is imported.
The Kaneshi woman who is selling is also buying imported.
No, he's selling. No, the Kaneshi market is selling local food produce.
Her cost of running that business is far lower.
Well, then you've answered my question. Then both Kaneshi
then runs a Maximat or
Moro. Then you've answered my question. Both Kaneshi and Maximat, the prices have not gone down. If you are saying that you're making that same argument, then that's fine. But I'm telling you that I don't make any.
Food items. So is it milk?
Milk, yes.
And what else?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah, crate of eggs.
Okay. You're saying the prices haven't gone
down? No, haven't gone down.
Well, I haven't bought those items in a
while. No, but I buy them every day because those are what you need for kids when you have kids at home, milk and eggs.
Okay.
Okay. So, but the point I want to make is that it's been, look, when we have life, we have everything. But if the NDC were to give us the credit of what they inherited, maybe we would have been a bit generous on them on some of the things. But the minute you come in and you start bastardizing what you inherited, then straight away our backs are up and we don't see anything good in what you're doing. Okay. But let's give credit and where credit is due. Okay. And I think we can end it there. Now let's go into gold board.
No. You know, there's there are a few things to say.
Okay, that's fine.
Before we get into gold board. Or you want to go straight.
So we are going to give credit.
Okay.
We inherited an energy debt.
Okay.
Of 28 billion. That's what MPP left us.
Okay.
So we acknowledge that. We inherited the public debt. And I'm going to total central government arrears as at 2024 and 2024 was 67.5 billion cedis. That's 5.2% of GDP. We inherited that. We inherited a road sector debt of 21 billion. That's what we inherited.
Yeah.
Now, so we give them credit for piling those debts for us to come and deal with. We'll give you credit for that.
That's right.
Yeah. You're proud.
But government is continuous.
Yeah.
You did the same.
You didn't think that government was continuous.
Oh, no, but you gave us same in 2017 and we didn't complain. So I mean, let's move on.
So, I mean, I won't talk even about Cocoa Board. 38 billion. That's what you left.
Plus the ones you guys are adding on now.
Now, so you see, the thing is that, Nana Boko, first of all, you are comparing Nana Akufo-Addo's 2017 with John Dramani Mohammed's 2025 first year. I thought that what you would have done was to compare your 2024 performance, 2017 performance against 2016 exit.
That won't be fair.
Oh, why? Because the characterization of John Dramani Mahama as incompetent was largely based on his 2015 to the 16 performance.
Yeah, but 2017
because
performed better on your 2016.
If you look at John Evans Atamil's term, which was part of John Dramani, NDC's first term in office, Ghana recorded the highest growth in this history.
That's fine.
But you don't compare that.
No, but I was just looking at the inflation.
So let me tell you why Nana Akufo-Addo performed disastrously. You know, the first few months after Nana Akufo-Addo came into office, he went for a Euro bond. How much? 750 million Euro.
Yeah.
Did he seek Attorney General's consent and advice?
I don't know.
So that should give you an indication of the corruption trajectory that we are going.
Oh, is that where we are going now? Why are you changing the conversation? If you want to go there,
I'm going to tell you why Nana Akufo-Addo performed so disastrously. Because he was reckless to the core. To the extreme. To the extreme. You remember PDS? Up to now, we have not gotten our monies from PDS. And you are happy about that?
What are we changing?
No, you are happy about that?
No, I'm not, because I'm on record. So I'm on record on PDS.
It's part of the legacy.
Yes, but
of Nana Addo. You remember the Auditor General's support on the utilization of the COVID funds?
Yes.
Are you happy about that? Are you proud?
Okay, so what are we talking
about?
No,
I'm talking about...
No, because you cannot...
When you talk about performance...
You cannot change the conversation. My point is that we are looking at performance in economy. If we want to talk about corruption and corruption issue-related cases, then you might even have me on your side on some of those issues. I'm being honest with you. Because I'm on record on PDS.
Yes.
Okay? Because some of the things happening in PDS, I'm against it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's not change... Let's not change the conversation.
I'm just leading you to what brought about the disastrous and catastrophic.
No, but that does not take away the fact that in the 2017, 2018 is better than your 2017. If
No, it's not better.
Okay, that's fine, but we are going to disagree.
It's not better at all. Now, so let's come back. You know, I just drew attention to the utilization of COVID funds. You talk about COVID. Do you know that in the history of this country, and particularly during the COVID time, that was the time Ghana received the highest amount of support from international partners, and even got 53 billion Ghana cedis from the Bank of Ghana.
I agree.
Yeah. So what do we do with it?
But you guys are in government today. You have the books.
No, it is that time that Ghana recorded 54% inflation.
I agree, but why? Because of the many injection of. Because you see, my brother, when you look at, but you know today, what you guys are doing today to reduce inflation is mopping up liquidity from the market.
So let me tell you.
So when you inject a lot of money into the sector,
you talk about the introduction of COVID levy. COVID levy was not a response to the disastrous performance of the finance minister. It was as a result of the locking out of Ghana from the international capital market. So you had to find homegrown solutions
to
your shortfalls.
Yes.
But he was warned.
But shortfall, I know, but those things are there. But my brother,
He was warned.
we agree. But that's what I'm saying, my brother. If you change the conversation onto that thing,
But
you
you
might
said
even
it.
no,
I'm
no, no.
just
But I'm just
taking
saying,
what you
but
said.
I'm just saying that, my brother. If you change the conversation from economic performance and indicators,
What is it? That's but e-levy is about economic performance.
but the COVID levy, which you guys have been happy to now tout that you've taken it out today.
No, I'm not talking about COVID levy. I'm talking about e-levy.
But e-levy was a program that we all know ran its course and did not work.
Yes, why didn't it work?
Because at that time the finance minister did not listen.
He didn't listen because we said it won't work.
No, but no, it's not that it won't work. The percentage at which, no, but the point is, hold on.
Let me tell
The
you
percentage, hold on. The percentage, let me clarify this. We all met with the finance minister.
So you see, when Nana Akufo-Addo was going to introduce his flagship project,
which is what?
There's a free senior high school. You know what he said?
Okay.
He said government is about making choices. And he has made a decision to use our money, heritage fund money, to fund free HSS. We reminded him that there were buffers. And that when you clear the buffers and you are struck your economy by unforeseen predicaments, your economy will crumble. The consequences of taking that decision, consuming our assets, changing our assets from investment into consumption, is what we saw when we were hit by COVID.
But are you not doing the same now with your big push? We're advising you against it and you're still going ahead and do it. Because you see, it's the same movie, different characters. You see, the same thing that you are telling me that you advise him is our flagship program. Nanadu came in and wanted
what capital, what assets are we using?
No, but you are using, what are you doing with your big push? You are using the oil revenues. You are basically mopping up all the assets.
You don't know the oil revenue. So let me go, I've forgotten the section. There must be a medium-term framework. I was in
Parliament. You can give all the excuses. I know you can give me the excuses.
Because
what I'm saying to you is that
you made a very interesting point. The point you're making is that the government of today is using monies that are meant to
cushion.
Yeah, to cushion the
the buffers that he's talking about.
Yes, I think it's important that he explains the difference between what is happening.
Why no? To him, difference to him. No. But you see, the perspective. But the perspective. No, my brother. You see, anytime, and that is the same problem we're having with Gold Board.
Okay.
Every time they say something, they think they have an explanation, but they think that our explanation is not good explanation. No, but I'm telling him that. But he said that. No, hold on. He said that he advised that Nanadu shouldn't use our buffers for free senior high school.
Yes.
Nanado's administration, the MP administration, felt strongly about free senior high school, and we felt that it's one of the best innovative policies ever instituted in Ghana today. You might disagree, I might not disagree, or everybody might have their own reasons, but today, the one and the World Bank, UNICEF, everybody has said that the free senior high school is one of the best initiatives in Ghana.
Fair enough.
But he is saying that he advised against using buffers.
Yes.
Today, they are doing Big Push, which is one of their big innovative programs, their flagship program.
Yes.
We are advising against that. Okay. They are doing the same thing.
So that's why he's saying that. You let him explain.
Okay.
When he's done,
my senior,
you
go
and
ahead.
I can decide whether it's the same or it's different.
My brother,
go ahead. After it's done, we can't tell
because when you
it's
introduce him as an energy expert, I wanted to draw his attention to the Petroleum Revenue Management Act.
Yes.
And the requirement for a medium-term framework.
PFMA, yes.
PFMA.
What is that? What was that? And the distribution of the oil revenue, why is it that 70% must go in to support the budget? And that 70%, what is it supposed to do in the budget?
Whether it's capex or it's consumption.
Yeah, is it for capex or consumption?
It is a priority. You see, that's the problem.
No,
but the law, what the law says, you see, that's the thing that I keep telling you guys. The law is one thing. The finance minister is the minister of Papa. You see, he's a minister of Papa.
Okay, let me tell you.
What the minister decides to use his money for is a priority.
No, it's not. No, the law is you can't spend. That is why there's a public-private sector.
Partnership.
Not partnership. The
involvement.
Actually, it's private sector. This group that have been set up to monitor.
You mean Steve Manteao?
Manteao and his group.
PIAC.
Yes. That is why it is set up to monitor the utilization of the revenue from the
right.
Because the idea is that your energy resources, the exploitation of our assets, must translate into tangible developments on your ground, on the ground.
Fine.
So it is not by leave of the minister.
I agree. But when you now have shortfalls in other areas, you see, this is my brother, this is English. What I'm telling you is that it's English. What I'm telling you is that the Minister of Finance is the Minister of Papa. When you now sit at the Ministry of Finance and you have money sitting there, and the law, hold on, the law tells, are we not seeing where the parliamentarians have come up to say that there are statutory payments for, the statutory payments for, hold on, there are statutory payments for common fund. What that has been released but has not been disbursed. The minister has redirected it. Why did he redirect it? Okay. So you have every government comes in and have their priority and flagship projects. You will do everything possible to make sure that your flagship projects are done.
Yes.
When your traditional revenues are shortfall, when your traditional receivables are not forthcoming, you look for other means.
Yes.
So yes, the law states that what you guys want to use the big push for, but what we are telling you is that the buffers, the monies that should be saved. No, the monies that should be saved. No, but I'm saying that those monies are
70% of that money, oil revenue, goes to the budget to support infrastructure development.
But we were using that for common fund and all those.
So you were consuming the money.
Yes, but that
is why we were so reckless.
But when it goes to common fund,
let's put it this way. Heritage Fund is for future generations.
Yes. When is that future, I ask?
That's a different debate.
That's a different debate.
Yes, thank you.
In fact, you remember that Asedu Ketia has raised that debate before.
Yes.
In fact, he said he would have wished.
Yes, that today is the future.
Today. So
yes.
It's a different debate.
Yes, thank you.
The point I'm trying to make is that the oil proceeds.
Yes.
Now there's a key objective for setting up the
Petroleum Revenue
Good Act.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So what Inus Hussein is trying to tell you is that
yes,
the 70% which is allocated to be used to support the budget is actually which the law says it should be.
I agree.
So
nobody is doubting that.
Good. So it's what he's saying is that what is happening is only a realization for the key objectives.
I agree. Then let's see when the budget comes out. Hold on. When the subsequent budget comes. And the finance minister today, who has a 30 billion hole in his budget that he can't find, okay, and he's furthering reducing taxes. This is the government. You know, budgets are very simple. And my brother will tell you, revenues and expenditure. What you are receiving and what you are spending.
Yes.
All the rest of that big book is around that, what I get and what I spend. So today, what they get, they have removed almost and shortened their hand in the fight of revenues. Recently, they've now gone and revitalized or reform the VAT, right? They removed the COVID levy. They removed this, they removed this. With a strategy that they are going to be able to mobilize more money with a strategy, a new strategy. Right. Let's see if that strategy works. So I know that they cannot make 200 billion revenue in 2025. They can't.
So you see, when I say that,
the 70%
it's to go to support. It's a midterm framework.
Okay. So the funding of the big push is not the same as the funding from the Heritage Bank.
No,
it's
not. It's different. Now, so we want to track.
Okay.
I mean, we are very transparent. It talks about Bawumia bringing domestic gold purchase program.
Right.
Yeah, we were here when they went about speaking about domestic gold purchase program. You remember? And what did we ask for Ghanaians as Ghanaians? We said, can you make it more transparent?
Yeah, transparency.
Who are the people behind it? How is that program run?
Right.
They kept it as if they were the owners of the republic and they did what they wanted. At that time that they were buying the gold, they incurred debt. 460 million Ghana cedis. 460. The 460 million Ghana cedis did not sit at PMMC. It sat at the Bank of Ghana. Because when they introduced the domestic gold purchase program, it was to help stabilize the currency. And the fundamental objective of the establishment of a central bank is inflation tracking. So that policy is supposed to help the central bank and not gold board. So when you make arguments like gold board has been given money, and no, gold board buys the gold for central bank on a determined rate. Who fixes the rate?
Gold board.
No, central bank.
Oh no, central bank does not fix what rates, what the gold price. Central bank does not fix the gold price. Central bank only fixes the exchange rates.
Yes. So
Central bank only fixes. Hold on.
No, listen,
Central bank only fixes. My brother. Central bank only fixes. Let's correct ourselves.
No. Please. I'm contracting you as an agent to buy gold for me.
Okay.
You mean I give you a free check?
That's what happens.
No.
That's what happens.
No.
Oh, my brother. That is so. Why would there be a loss? But that is what. No, but he asked the question. I'm asking the question. Bank of Ghana gives an X amount. Hold on, I know, but he asked the question. Let's answer it. Bank of Ghana.
So
why is it? How can you rhetoric?
Bank of Ghana is running a program. It says I need gold.
Yes.
I'm going to advance this amount of money to you.
Yes.
And we are here arguing that Bank of Ghana, after making the money available to gold board, has no reasonable appreciation or idea of the quantity of gold that gold board will supply to Bank of Ghana.
No, as per their letter, I'll read it to you. When you finish, I'll read the letter to
And
you.
also,
The letter, I'll read the Bank of Ghana letter to you.
That's number one. Number two, when you hear the MPP arguing, and elements of the MPP, including Kujo Oponkruma, your good friend, when they argue, you will see a determined effort by them to shift the debt from Bank of Ghana to Gold Board. One Gold Board has told you clearly that the debt does not sit with Gold Board. What they are entitled to after purchasing the gold for Bank of Ghana is fees. And they tell you that the fees that they have been paid as agents of the bank for the purpose of buying gold for them by the end of year will be around 960 million.
A surplus.
Surplus. So how then do you say that debt is a gold board debt? Number two, this is why, again, you hear Nana Opoku say, oh, the program helped stabilize the currency, and that's why they handed over, when you hear them argue, the gold for oil reserves, gold for oil or gold for reserves, according to Nana Opoku and his compatriots, was what put the country on the solid pedestal for them to hand over.
But it's not
the same thing. They are two different things.
The domestic gold purchase program.
Yes.
Yes.
The domestic gold purchase program has two.
It has two legs.
Two legs.
Yes.
Gold for oil and gold for reserves. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Is that what you are saying is that the gold for? I'm not talking about gold for oil.
Okay.
Yes. I'm talking about the gold for reserve.
Yes.
You are saying that is what put Ghana on a solid footing to recovery for you to hand over the country to Ghana. That's what you are arguing.
Right.
That's your argument.
I don't know where you're getting that from. But if we put 30 tons of gold in the Bank of Ghana, it's substantive.
Yeah, you have. But that's what you are saying.
Because you said the gold for reserve program.
Right. Yes.
In fact, you were even crediting Bamia for it.
For it.
And you said we all must accept that Bamia introduced. So that's what.
No, but he's added a bit. That last part he's added. I don't know when I said that.
Which last?
You said that.
That put us on the part of recovery.
Recovery.
What part of recovery?
So
we already had a good economy that you came to inherit. So part of recovery where? I don't get where the part of recovery is.
So how was that part out?
No,
I don't get where the part of recovery is.
How was the economy recovering?
Which economy?
The economy that was bankrupt.
Oh, my brother. You see, now he's changed the conversation.
No, I'm not changing.
No, you have. But let me read the letter to you. Let me read the letter to you. Let me read the letter to you. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy into that. Let me read. Let me read the letter.
No, the economy was bankrupt at that point.
Let me read the letter.
Let's stay. No.
So
let's stay with this issue about the how do you call it, the domestic purchase program.
Yeah.
More specifically, the gold reserve program.
Yeah.
And the issue about the losses. Let's stay there. How that has impacted on the economy, it's another leg of the conversation, because now the issue is that the critics of the program are saying that it has incurred losses based on what the IMF has said. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay,
so that's where we are now.
IMF says that Bank of Ghana advancing money to Gold Board with the realization or with the intention that Gold Board will buy gold for them.
Yeah.
Has serious, is exposing Bank of Ghana to serious risk.
Right.
Okay? And so they think that activity, that trading activity, should not be an activity sitting at the
on the books of the Bank of Ghana. It must be on the books of the fiscal authorities.
It must be on the books
Finance
of the
Ministry.
fiscal authorities. That's just what they are saying.
Yes.
It exposes...
Because you have not given the money you promised to give. You went through the back door. You promised to give $279 million to Gold Board. You've not given that money. If Bank of Ghana has not come to save you to give them the money, Gold Board will be sitting there a year on doing nothing. That is why the Bank of Ghana did that for you.
Fundamental misunderstanding of the concept. The program that Gold Board is running was a program that was being run by PMMC.
Two different things. Two different things. If you want me to explain, I'll explain, but it's two different things.
Don't explain. The PMMC was under my supervision.
Yes.
As Minister for Lands.
Yeah, but we were not there in 2023, 2024 when we came with the gold purchase program, so I can explain that to you.
No.
At least for that, we were in government.
So I know the arrangement. At that point, PMMC was a legally authorized body to buy gold.
For on behalf of the central bank? Okay.
Now, so when they were
now take that in note, right?
Yeah. When they were buying the gold, they were buying it for central bank. Yeah. That was a policy initiative of the central bank.
Right.
That was not a policy initiative of the PMMC.
True.
Gold Board is a successor in title to PMMC. So if you look at the Gold Board Act, the 7 provisions includes these things that we are talking about. So when Gold Board stepped into the shoes of PMMC and that program was running, they bought the gold, just like PMMC bought the gold.
So basically they were continuing what PMMC has started.
They were continuing.
So what is the big bruhala about the innovation of Gold Board then? If you are agreeing in principle, if you are agreeing in principle that what Gold Board, and right now you've answered the question for all Ghanaians watching us, that what Gold Board is continuing is something that existed even during your time, pre-MMC. Okay. What is the bruhala about Gold Board being the most innovative?
So let me tell you the bruhala.
Okay, so let me tell you
No, you can't tell me that. Let him tell me. You can, you're the host. You can't tell me that. Let him tell me. Let him tell me. What is the bruhala? Ghanaians have now seen that. When my brother now talking, you see he's exposed.
What has always existed is at 9:15 we take a break. So we are watching Good Morning Ghana. Please stay with us.
Sister, sister. Last year, na Cindy we ye turn 150 Ghana cedis. This year, me akosi sia se me kwakoto Cindy rice we. Me koya Cindy rice we wo say 60 cedis. Didn't know 60 cedis or say John Dramani Mahama watch so. Who 150 cedis? Watch so about 60 cedis. Watch so the about 60 cedis. Makache Mahama so on teso minti tomo na watch so no. Makache Mahama say minisika me de betomo and watch so no. Na samia na mi vote no ma oba power. Me na mi vote mo oba power. Me am vote ni wa free power. Ba power. Na mu we last year near turn 150 Ghana cedis. Waba power Timuma Nenko 250 and a 200. Who wait me at Monoso? I'm a Cindy Rice Abasi State Cities. I'm a Cindy Rice Abasi State Cities. Mahama Wahu. Or Tete Moagana Hapa, Mahama, or Tete me pa. Na Metreno. Metre present Mahama pa.
Confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Kel Charcoal toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, and who be here? Symmetry Sapapadia to a mammy man for Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is simple by a man is swing, and a sense of Mama Hotel so a will bedroom.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Oh, Jose, and I made the SMS. Can any pan, Nasana, Michiana, what me? A drain I didn't quano, Kingdom Garlic Bitters. No, benefit him. Me benefit wine. Also, what told dear? Abrewa, the smile, our brand. Mishuve, one antique crana wabre. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters and any capsules. Nanya Wadia Brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters and the capsules. Assembia, a devil when Amawani Adise. Send your name, wife, company one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and tea. Say, see, and password.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. A many genius from Debefi, Abrebia. Obebia o de poor hauno. Edro Bakupa we hear tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Esiesie uma uye obesima. Edno you benya bi obebia eton robia. Kingdom Herbal. No challenger.
Wabedum time aso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozing. I can say no ya konati and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eddie, Dabio, baby womb. Ready? Hey, baby womb. Ah, Eddie. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, well, uncle, where would I die? Why your funeral?
Say a Pesori insecticide GB at a user. Co pharmacy in a shop biamu. Namum say a pharmacy supermarket and a shop ra. Na repedudu to a cotonwa. On for Royal Dutch and our Aerofield Trading. FE spray with Daimwa.
Start your kids' day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Ama, nansi mi general well-being enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se mi nyo basima kra. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye monko. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Aye numbom. En wasam na mo kana. E bua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be bwanku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya na nim tisese ne oyi chokmo. GC mixture and capsule. Achisa.
A painful battle one more menu for one kwada when if you do me.
Healthy soil is where every great harvest begins. At ACAP, we turn waste into wealth, producing rich organic compost made right here in Ghana for our farmers and our future. Whether you are planting small or big, ACAP compost improves your soil, boosts your yields and saves you money. Even in your own home garden, give your soil life naturally. ACAP compost, from waste to wealth.
You're still watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and I'm here with Kojo Poku Nsafwa. Kojo Nsafwa Poku.
I don't know why you guys always want to put Nsafwa last. My grandfather will come out of the grave and slap all of you guys. Kojo Nsafwa Poku.
I know, go slap too, it be serious though.
Very serious.
So we have to be careful.
Yes.
Okay, since I don't want the ghost to slap me, let me correct myself. Kojo Nsafwa Poku. Energy expert and also a member of the MPP's communications team. And also, the Honorable Yusuf Seni, former member of parliament for the people of Tamale Central, and also former Lands and Natural Resources Minister and a former Roads and Highways Minister. So, Honorable.
Let me read my letter before Honorable comes in. Let me read my letter. It's very important.
Let me finish.
What I say is that the way you are interrupting and
today, he doesn't want you to come.
Can we?
So Honorable Shua, Honorable has finished.
Yeah, he says, can you? Because he says he's not enjoying the program because you are interrupted.
Okay,
when he says that he's not
enjoying the program.
You know why? The letter you're about to read,
yeah,
I think will resonate better with our viewers after he's done.
But he's done.
No, he's not done.
He did before you went on.
No, he was trying to explain his understanding of how.
No,
you know,
I will leave. No, the way they are
going
about Gold Board. Last week on Newsfile,
yes,
your sister station,
yes,
dealt with the issue.
Right.
Let's put it to rest.
Right.
Now they can continue saying whatever they want, but this year, Gold Board will be taken off fully as an institution funded by the state to buy.
So what have they been doing all this while? In the
They've
whole
been
of
doing the program, continuing the program on,
PMMC.
on behalf of the Bank of Ghana. That
Okay.
PMC started.
Okay.
But you see, why is Gold Board different? In the 2024 budget, the finance minister had told us that for the purposes of stabilizing the city, Gold Board was targeting to buy gold and raise $1 billion every month. So it was intentional. So we knew exactly where we were going.
Right.
And so today we know the Gold Board in its existence had done more than $10 billion. Why are we not growing? You know, we need a lot of foreign exchange to bring in crude oil, petroleum products into this country. And so sometimes you go to borrow to be able to have access to dollars.
Yeah.
Now we don't need to. That's what they call the intermediation. We know that we have the dollars here in this country, and that is our gold. People are holding money and looking for the gold. So the Gold Board, the Bank of Ghana gives us the cedis. Now government in future will give us the cedis, will give Gold Board the cedis, and Gold Board will go into the market and buy the gold. What's the difference? We say that nobody, we've constituted Gold Board into a state monopoly for the purposes of trading in gold in Ghana. We didn't do that. That's the difference again. So to be able to realize the objective of the institution, we needed to take certain critical decisions. And we've taken those decisions. And Gold Board is helping the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank to stabilize the cedi. That has had a cascading effect on our exposure, our loan exposure. Because now that the cedi is strong, we are now going to pay less in terms of cedis for our loans, existing loans, when they mature, and we just paid $703 million, which matured just a few weeks ago. And we paid a lesser amount in cedis than we would have paid because the cedi is now strong. And so, indeed, next year you will see a gold board that will be running on its own and performing to the expectations of the people of this country. Now, let me tell you another thing. He says that Nana Akufo-Addo needed to do what he did by consuming assets in funding the free HSS. Today, we're not doing that. So, again, you say we're not doing anything. How are we funding the free HSS? Because we're not using the same strategy. How are we funding the free senior high school program? Right. But it's fun. It's been funded. And there's food in the school. We're not hearing students go on demonstrations here and there. There's food in the schools. So we're doing something definitely different. We've taken away wasteful expenditures. You went and you said you were doing 1D, 1F. To what intents and purposes, we don't know. Now, because we've cut off the reckless expenditures, we're able to mobilize resources, to channel the resources to where money is needed to affect the lives of the people. So the government is focused, looking at how to meet the reasonable and legitimate expectations of the people of this country. Okay. And everybody's happy, probably except the MPP. I say that sometimes Ahoya, because they couldn't do what we are doing. So they are campaigned that we are doing what we are doing now. When they were given the opportunity, they couldn't do it. But don't worry. John Dramani Mahama will deliver. Okay. And will deliver your expectation. Right. And you will be happy in this country. Well, how can improve your chances of leading?
How can it be campaign when everything we are doing is what you are continuing doing? You rightfully told the whole country that Gold Board is a continuation of PMMC. What PMMC is doing now is what Gold Board was doing. What Gold Board is doing now is what PMMC was doing before. So there's nothing new that Gold Board is doing. The real mandate of Gold Board, as you put it, will start this year or next year when they are funded by the Ministry of Finance. So all the praise that people want to heap on Gold Board is the same praise PMMC, because PMMC made a huge profit. And you see, the Minister of Agric has gone on to say that PMMC made losses. It's not true. PMMC made 214 million. It's captured in the on record. It's on record in the SIGA reporting. PMMC made a profit of $214 million last year. But you know what? Before I even go into things, look. There are things that the NDC... I'll read my letter in a minute, but let me respond to a few things that you say before I read my letter. PMMC has not... Gold Board and the government has not made a revenue of 10 billion. People keep making that mistake. You have not made a revenue of $10 billion. It's a swap. A swap is that if I now have 100 cedis and I go to the Forest Bureau and change the 100 cedis and I get $1, I have not made extra money. It is my same 100 cedis, but only difference that it's $1. Okay? What we did and what the government is doing is that you are mopping cedis from the economy, buying gold, selling the gold, and then getting forex. It's not revenue. That's the mistake and the misconception. And people keep saying that, my brother have said it now, that, we've not borrowed. We don't borrow because of forex. We borrow because of fresh capital.
Oh, forex?
No, you borrow in forex, but you borrow because of fresh capital. You don't have money.
You were borrowing because of
forex. But you don't have money.
When you were
there were two incidents where we go into the market. We go into the market to the coupon market, the bonds market, and we go in for the syndication loans. That was the traditional way of getting new forex, apart from exports, right? So now, what you do is that you don't borrow. Yes, you're borrowing. It's some of your international borrowing is in FX and euro, That is why you now got that money. But the intention of borrowing is not to get forex. Your intention of borrowing is that you are short in financing your budget. As this year, you guys said that you need 357 billion. Is it 357? Let me get that number. Yes, 357 billion Ghana cedis appropriation, right? You can only raise 200 billion at most, cedis at most. And you are saying that you're going to finance 71 billion through the local market. If you are able to go to international market, then you probably go and borrow from the international market as well. But because we are in IMF and we can't go into the international market, you are saying that you're going to finance your budget through 71 billion Ghana cedis from the local market. So you don't borrow because of FX. Let me correct that.
I'm talking about external.
I'm saying about the external, your prime. No, but I'm saying that your prime.
The question yourself.
Senior,
you
your
don't
prime.
borrow because of you say you don't borrow.
Yes, but I'm saying that your prime reason to go and borrow is not because you need FX.
That is true. We don't need FX.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But that's why I want to. That's why I want to correct that. Thank you. So your reason to going to borrow.
You don't go outside. These people are going outside to borrow.
Well, no, that's not true. But my brother, that's what you want to say. So
because we are growing on the domestic market.
The $10 billion that you are claiming, right? The 10 billion you are claiming is your effort to now drink a whole bottle of milk of magnesia, which has given you constipation now. As Sami Jamfi said, the target for that was 2028 and 2029. Now we met it today. And as a result of that, you've caused losses in the Bank of Ghana. Let me now read a letter from Bank of Ghana. Listen, you say that Bank of Ghana set a price with gold board. No, they don't. So this is why I'm telling you. Let me read a letter. I, Kojo Poku, when Bank of Ghana started, and let me give you the background so everybody understands where the letter came from. When Bank of Ghana said they were going to do gold for oil, I was against it. Because being in the industry for 21 years, I know that Bank of Ghana has no role, and I didn't know the law that allows Bank of Ghana to come in and trade. And I didn't know if Bank of Ghana has measures in place for the losses associated with trading, right? So I wrote to Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana now wrote back to me and said that, oh, we've put all the measures in place. We've looked at all the T's and the I's on the dots on the I's, and we will not make any losses. And if any losses can be made, it will be mitigated by measures we put in place. I'm like, good. Then in February last year, I heard that there is a 214 billion losses. I'm like, hey, what's going on? So I wrote another letter under the RTI to Bank of Ghana. The Bank of Ghana now replied me why the 214 billion losses came about. And this is the response they gave me. At the close of financial year 2024, a cumulative loss of 214 billion was incurred on the G4O program. 0.32 billion and 1.8 billion losses are incurred for the 2023 and 2024 respectively. The losses incurred were primarily on gold and petroleum transactions. Details provided below. Losses on gold transactions amounted to about 1.8 billion, which were mainly due to exchange rate differential. The exchange rate used in the local gold market for the gold purchase prices and the bank's internal rate.
Yes, the difference.
Hold on. Yes, but if it was Bank of Ghana setting the price, they will use their internal rate, so there will be a differential.
It's actually set by Gold Board.
No, thank you.
Yes.
So if it was set by Bank of Ghana, yes, Bank of Ghana will use their internal rate to set. And you remember Sami Jamfi has been on. No, but he said the rate is set by the Bank of Ghana.
It's set by the Gold Board.
It's set by Gold Board. Thank you. So let me, Sami Jamfi has said that if you go to the ground, to the mines, to use the Bank of Ghana rate, they won't sell the gold to you. So you see,
it's low. It's lower than
very
the
low.
Rate.
Exactly. So that is where the problem is. You see,
so the differentials.
The differentials is what is creating the problem.
Yeah, but that's.
Hold on, my brother.
Hold on. Sorry. So no,
I don't need your help.
But that's a product of policy design.
No, it's not. So that is where I'm going to come to. When the NDC came in, and they hung the gold board and was gold for oil and was beating like a paniada, I, Kojo Poku, have sat on multiple platforms and said, guys, calm down. The gold for oil was not a scam. The gold for oil really made an impact. The gold for oil helped this country. Bank of Ghana, in this very letter, have come on to say that, look, This is what the Bank of Ghana said. The program helped reduce demand for US dollars from the bulk oil distributors, and total FX demand of $1.6 billion would have otherwise increased demand for the interbank FX market and put pressure on the exchange rate to cover the delivery of 56 cargoes totaling 1.8 metric tons, 1.8 million metric tons of petroleum products as the close of December 2024. And my brother can actually have a look at the letter from Bank of Ghana. You see, the point I'm making is that there was a program that achieved results. There was a program that was good for the country. The NDC, led by all their communicators, bastardized it and said that gold for oil made a loss. We told them that the losses were not the oil component that made the loss. The losses were mainly the gold trading side. And I said on GH1 that these losses are still in existence. This is way before the IMF thing came up. That because the World Bank, because the Gold Board, the new administration, the Minister of Finance, the new Bank of Ghana governor, has not learned any lessons from what we were doing, those losses are still ongoing, and it will be published in the Bank of Ghana audited accounts. 2 weeks later, the IMF report came out. So the point I'm making is that if the NDC had not done politics with the losses of Gold Board and have realized that the losses were not a matter of busts. You see, today they are all trying to get Sammy Gyamfi to explain. Edwin Provenza have explained tire. In fact, nobody believed him to the extent that he was arrested at the airport. Should we go and arrest Sammy Gyamfi for making losses? Meanwhile, Bost did not make a loss. Bost actually recorded 318 million Ghana cedis profit for the first time last year, and it's recorded. So why are we now talking about? In the NDC time, Gold Board does something, there is a loss. Everybody thinks they have an explanation. 2024, there was a loss. Nobody wants to listen to that explanation. That is the problem. If they had acknowledged that the losses made in 2024 was as a result of operational deficiencies in the way gold is bought, they would have sat down, found a way, and this conversation would not have occurred. Right. Now you understand my problem? I do. Thank you. That is why I don't want to hear what anybody is saying. Because what Abai de Bobano, and that is what we are doing. So the losses that everybody is saying that was at bust, though there was no losses at bust, it's the same losses at Gold Board. Because it is the operationalization of Gold Board that created the losses, and they are claiming that it is operations of bust that created the losses.
But Kojo, if you've always known that by virtue of the policy design and operational and how the whole Gold for Oil program has been operationalized is what has occasioned, or is what keeps occasioning these losses that you talked about. You've known this all this while.
Yes. And I've been speaking about it all this while, and nobody's listening.
So why then is your group, the MPP, raising the same issues as though you have no idea?
No, we have an idea, but we know. But the losses. The point is that who created the loss? We are highlighting an issue. Yes. You see, that's why I disagree with my brother when he says that the losses are made by Gold Board, but sits in the Bank of Ghana's books. That is why it is declared by the Bank of Ghana. But the operationalization, the guy who does the work, the guy whose actions resulted in the losses is Gold Board. You can't take that away. Bank of Ghana only buys gold. Bank of Ghana doesn't trade, doesn't assay, doesn't do anything with gold. All Bank of Ghana does is that I give you 10 million Ghana cedis. I'm supposed to get 10 million Ghana cedis of gold back or more. Anything less is a loss in my books. That is how it works. You see how the loss occurs in Bank of Ghana. They give you a certain money goes out. That same money comes back. Anything less is a loss. It's profit and loss accounts. Right? But now you want to explain how that losses is this, is that. And we are saying that it is as a result of the operations of Gold Board that those losses occurred. It is not as a result of Bank of Ghana's operations that losses occurred. I hope you understand it.
Explain to me which aspect of Gold Board's operations which has occasioned these losses.
Okay,
Which
so
aspect?
okay, so let me tell you.
Okay.
If anybody will listen to me, Kojopoku, and you know, sometimes they want to make it look like some of these things are national issues, so we should all come together. But nobody wants to listen to advice. We should have a Ghana index for our gold.
Okay.
We know the answer. But the question, in setting the questions, it makes the answer a problem. Everybody now goes to the mines. And the minute you enter the mines, they use the international world market price to price the gold. Right? Now, then there's a discount negotiated. But after that gold is bought, it has to go through a lot of process to the point where it is now sold to the single aggregator, which is now Bawa Rock. And then it has to be turned into Doré bars. Because we know we don't refine the gold. Yeah. We compact them into Doré bars. The gold has to be assayed, right? And then in the assaying and all that. And all the players also have a margin they charge because they don't work for free. So when the gold leaves the miner, it goes into an agent. That agent has to earn something on the gold. The gold has to go through assaying. There's a cost. The gold has to be turned into Doré bars. There's a cost. Then it goes to the aggregator. The aggregator now makes his small margin before it gets to gold board. So it is the operational cost which is being transferred to Bank of Ghana as a loss. Now, let me tell you the other way around. If Gold Board had money, Gold Board was giving the $279 billion. Gold Board will be doing their operations. In the vault of Gold Board, they will have X amount of gold. Bank of Ghana comes and said, I want to buy gold. And Gold Board will tell you, my gold, my Doré bars in my vault costs X. Bank of Ghana will decide to buy or not buy. But Gold Board would have factored in the cost of their operations into the sale of the gold.
I got you.
And at that point, Bank of Ghana will either ask for a discount and go and sell it. But when Bank of Ghana buys it from Gold Board at X, they will have to sell it at the same price they bought it from Gold Board or sell it more, so they don't make a loss. But in this case, because Bank of Ghana is the one providing the working capital to Gold Board, Gold Board's operational losses is coming from where? The Bank of Ghana money.
Okay.
So when you end up giving the gold to Gold Board, if you Gold Board end up giving the gold to Bank of Ghana, Bank of Ghana sells it. What they get, just oppose that to money they initially gave. There's a less differential, and that is a loss. So what everybody is calling a loss is indeed an operational cost of Gold Board. You know, before, it was the lawyer Ewa, who when he became the MD of PMMC, that started the Doré bars. Before, they were not only buying gold in Doré bars, but for this program, they only buy gold in Doré bars. Okay, so my point is this. This is my advice to anybody that will listen. I'm great my brother is here. What we should have is an index for Ghana gold. We produce too much gold in Ghana not to have our own index. When you go to Saudi Arabia has their own index for their oil. When you go to Dubai has their own, UAE has their own index for their oil. You go to America, they have the Texas. Okay, you cannot use certain benchmarks to go and buy in these jurisdictions because they produce too many of that product and they have their own indexes. What Gold Board should do is to work with the Ghana Stock Exchange so that we have our own indexes, so that the Ghana gold, which can be now stamped as Ghana gold, will have a certain benchmark price. Off the back of that, we can now determine what the raw gold at the pit should be. Then we can work it backwards to determine what the index price of the gold should be in Ghana. We can artificially make that index a bit cheaper than the world market price to just get people to patronize Ghana gold. Like what the Saudis do.
Sounds like a good idea.
It is a brilliant idea. Do you see Kujupu giving bad ideas? But you see, the problem is that nobody wants to listen. You cannot go, you see, you know the gold trade between UAE and the Russians, Saudi Arabia and the Russians. It's not done in the same world market prices as we have to go through because using the world Brent price or the Texas price, the world market price in Ghana is Brent. But if Ghana were to have its own index, we are the largest gold producer in Africa, third or second in the world. Why can't we have our own gold index?
Right. All right. So, Kwame Samoa sends this message. Your very good friend. He's the Director of Communications for the NDC, and he says, I beg to differ with the arguments of the MPP rep. He seems to think that the Old Testament and the New Testament in the Bible are the same. They are not, even though both are the same Bible. We all know the impact of the Gold for Oil program, and we also know the impact of the Gold Board. Now, if the former one overheated the economy, but the present scheme is cooling it, how can they be the same? Meanwhile, the same people go about happily saying that Gold Board buys Galamsey gold. Is that honesty or trickery? And he says, Happy New Year. That's Mr. Kakra is Samoa. Prince Henry from Koforidua says, good morning. Mr. Kojo Poku should commend his government because the gold for oil can't be the same as what the Gold Board is doing with the Bank of Ghana. The fact is, Ghanaians are happy because they woke on the eve of Xmas and price of fuel is going down. The youth are happy because there is no betting tax, no COVID levy, no e-levy, no emission tax, etc. The MPP will tend to be like the CP after 31st elections when Kennedy Japan loses and Dr. Bamia wins. The future is pregnant. That's Prince Henry from Koforidua. Alaji Hamza from Pig Farm. Right, Alaji messaging her. So, but anyway, I'll see what I can do. Alaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, Salaam alaikum, my brother. Wa alaikum salam. Functionaries and communicators of MPP are not happy about the Gold Board and Sami Jemfi simply because Gold Board is a game changer for the economy of this country. This is the first time that we celebrate Christmas. We celebrated Christmas and the city was stable and strong. Thanks to Sami Jemfi. It's a fact that the MPP is not happy because there has not been a single scandal recorded in this government for 1 year. So they are looking around to find a bad name and hang it on the neck of Sami Jemfi. And the reason is that his name Sami Jemfi as a communicating officer of the NDC has been in the books of the MP for far too long. So some of us are not surprised. The more they go for Sami Jemfi, the more they will expose themselves, as we saw on Newsfile on Saturday. Now, this one here from E.D. Mukhtar, he says that I don't understand. Okay, so why give this MP? Okay, I don't understand what some MPP members want. I don't understand what some MPP members want in Ghana. In one breath, they are criminalizing Sami Jemfi over Gold Board. And on another breath, they are saying that Sami Jemfi is just implementing Dr. Bamia's brainchild policy. Which is which? Are they confused or they are bereft of knowledge? I think it's time the MP gave Ghanaians a break. It's getting beyond measure. It's because they are out of political power. The MP can no longer be taken serious by any rational citizen of Ghana. Let us move on as a nation with the current goodwill. Musa from Abatua says that Musa Abatua. Yes, Musa Abatua in Asawasi says, Moro, 2025 was a challenging year because President Mahama inherited a collapsed economy. The nation had less than a 2-day supply of distillate fuel and heavy fuel oil, making doom so imminent. However, due to prudent management, the economy has moved from junk status to a B+ rating, according to international ratings agencies. Nevertheless, 2026 is going to be a promising year. A solid foundation has already been laid, and positive signs are becoming evident. The economy is showing encouraging growth, and the living standards of the average Ghanaian is improving. This was clearly reflected in the unprecedented Christmas festive season, where market women were jubilant due to record-breaking sales. My regards to lawyer Inus Afuseni. Happy New Year to the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah. Abdul Razak from Accra says, Nana Poku's tendency of picking and choosing is very nauseating. As a listener, I may say that I'm not enjoying the program at all this morning. And he says, good for oil move. What the effect on BOG's financials? Very disastrous. And then this one here from, okay, yeah. Okay. All right, so Amra Riska, just a second. Amra Riska is watching us on Facebook, and she says that if budgets are simple, I'm guessing it's a lady or it's a female. If budgets are simple, then Kojo Poku tell K. Oforiata to come and account to Ghanaians. That's Amra Riska. Now, Emily Nola 7922 says, is he speaking for all Ghanaian women selling the market, or he's speaking on behalf of the small family that have decided to live expensive lifestyle? Emily. Anyway,
when I went to say that hardship is you see, he's now talking about. She's talking about that. I'm the very person who said that people's hardship is a result of their lifestyle. Okay. Everybody crusaded me in this country. You see what somebody is now writing.
I hear you.
When the shoe is on the wrong foot, Ghanaians.
Please let's move to the next one. Let's move to the CK one. I was just about to read when you yes. So at CKN4616. Kojo is a smooth talker. That does not mean he's speaking the truth. What Ghanaians know is how much they spend when they go to the market and having light available when they need it. That's all. And then, guys, is that all? Okay, all right. So that's on. This one is on YouTube. Was sent by a YouTube.
My brother.
So somebody sweating us on YouTube.
You know how the world goes. Yes. When the shoe is on the wrong foot, everybody now. When I talked about people's hardship as a result of their lifestyle, I have some, they crucified me in this time.
I have some birthday dedications that I need to do. It's very
Please
important.
go ahead.
So, you know the MP for Fijat Kwabre North.
Fijat Kwabre.
Fijat Kwabre North. That's North. Collins Adomako Mensah.
Yes.
His wife is celebrating her birthday today.
Okay.
How do you know the wife?
Oh, no, the man informed me this morning about
it.
Yes.
Okay.
So the husband sent you the message to the wife. So say it well. Say it well. Well, you don't start by saying somebody's wife's birthday.
Say it well.
Say it well. Thank you, my brother.
No, before the wrong impression is taken. Anyway, so she's called. Hey, I need to do this thing quickly. So let me. So she's called Janet Adomako Mensah. Yes, today is your birthday. I want to wish you a happy birthday, Janet Adomako Mensah. Your husband said I should tell you that love you always. That's all.
Thank you.
He says love you always. And that's
put it beyond doubt.
Yes, put it beyond doubt. And that you are the best thing that's ever happened to him in his life. So Janet Adomako Mensah, today is your birthday. Happy birthday for that. Now, also, let me say happy birthday to our own Dr. Randy
Abbey.
Anete Abbey. Today is his birthday, you know that?
Yes.
Oh, so Randy turns 52 today, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
We should stop putting people's, just wish him happy birthday. Stop putting people's age out there.
No, he doesn't have a problem with that. But last year,
everybody above 50 has a problem telling them.
No, really? No, why?
Why?
Honorable is in his mid-60s.
I don't have a problem.
He's fine. Even though he looks 50.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
You know, Honorable walks every day for 2 hours.
Yes.
Every single day for the past 20 years.
It shows what he needs.
I am telling you.
He's looking very well.
So in house I would say, you're not a curfew, you're not a worry. Anyway, so that's Dr. Randy Abbey. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board and also a former host of this show, Good Morning Ghana. And that's Dr. Randy Abbey. Happy birthday. He's a big man. And you sent me a very interesting message.
He's a big man with a lot of headaches.
I know.
Big headaches.
He inherited it from MPP.
He did not. His problems created by the NBC are saying reducing $1 to 10.4. Now my brother is sitting there sweating.
In his last media briefing at a nearby joint here, I mean, to some cross section of journalists. I mean, the picture he painted about Cocoa Board. Whoa! It will take a miracle.
It will take what?
Yeah, it will take a miracle.
And the problem being compounded now is the low dollar for his receivables that he's now getting. And the plummet of world cocoa prices.
Okay.
From the high of 8,000 to 5,000.
From the Ignite Media Group, Metro TV, Original Radio, Original FM, and Original TV, and all your friends and family want to say happy birthday to you, Dr. Randy Abbey. I think that you've contributed your quota as far as journalism, sports, and everything else is concerned. And we can only wish you well as you take over this very, very, arduous and a very difficult task of turning around Cocoa Board. We can only say that we wish you well. Today being a very special day in your life, and from all of us here, Innocent Husseini, Kotokoku, want to say happy birthday.
You're going to give us a small bite of 1 minute before you.
Oh, no, we're done. Our time is up.
Well, I mean, there's this Kakra Samoa thing that he came to say. You didn't let me respond to it.
Oh, he was just saying hello to you.
No, how can he be saying hello to me? People are looking at things. People are different. People are looking at things from a different lens. You see, the lens.
So thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana. My name is Howdy Boro. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Have a good one.